I thought I was yapping at you guys that whole time. Also, hey, Chicken Coop Enjoyer. I was just talking about how I was trying to safeguard my chicken from cats because I didn't have time to cook. And I didn't have time to cook because I only literally got back from work a couple of weeks ago. A couple of minutes ago, and then my takeout arrived just basically when I got home. So, yeah. We're a bit early for me. Usually I'd like a little bit more prep time.
Do you hear the voices too?
Cat app you just followed.
Thank you for the follow. Also, how's the audio? How is the audio? Also, hey Hangars, how you doing? Why? Why? You know, this is some people's first time seeing me. Do you really wanna show them the silly toggles? The bazillion toggles y'all can do for like one channel point? Cause that's what's happening. You're at work at a field trip. Oh my god. How's it going? You having a nice time? Do you have to deal with children a lot? When you say field trip. Oh yeah, I forget you're a teacher, aren't you? Hey Metal. Thank you. I'm still setting up. Hengast, what do you want to see in the preview show? Cat, stop trying to steal my... Stop trying to lick the mayonnaise. Stop trying to lick the mayonnaise, Cat. Evie, you've got, like, catnip in your fur still. Why have you still got catnip in your fur? I'm gonna have to brush you. Oh my god. Hey, Phantom. We got a teacher in here. Lol. Yeah. Hengast is a good bean. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Phantom always grabs you. That's the rules. Okay, I'm gonna at everyone and at member in my Discord. Evie, do you want to go back into the cat cam area, or are you just gonna be all up in my face until I give you chicken? Because I'm not giving you my chicken. I'm not giving you my chicken, Cat. I'm not giving you my chicken. He's trying so hard to get my chicken count. It's actually insane. Wow. Are you just spamming the long cat redeem now? What do you guys think is going to be revealed? My money is on... We're obviously getting Custodes. And we're obviously getting Space Pirates. No, I refuse. I refuse to accept Ultramarines. Give me Word Bearers. Are we getting crew? I'd like crew. I'd like crew. I want them to betray the Ultramad protests like they did in Cal. Okay, no more cat cam because the cat is no longer in the cat cam area. She's on my messy study desk. I say study desk, it's my hobby desk. Also, Imperial Fists are getting another pointless nerf again. Imperial Fists needed a nerf? Fairy Chaos Marine babes. Lol. You know, actually, speaking of Chaos stuff, I want them to do a detachment that lets them have allied guard, Imperial Guard. For Traitor Guard, like proper Traitor Guard, you know? I'd love that. That would make me happy. Your detachment is Clan of Ernie. Detachment? That's the Iron Warriors detachment. Oh, your detachment is the shittier Clan of Ernie. Yeah, I kind of thought that when I first saw the Imperial Fist detachment and saw the, like a week, what was it, a week later, they showed off the Iron Warriors detachment. What are our predictions? Custodes. Big Custodes range refresh. We're obviously gonna see We're obviously going to see the rest of the Red Corsairs. I'm assuming we'll see Eldar Corsairs as well. I don't know anything about Blood Bowl and I don't know enough about Age of Sigmar to make any guesses. I want to see something else though. I'd like to see they're revealing a collab with Bandai for an Imperial Knight with movable hearts. Fuck, that would be great. Unless you're predicting more Ultramarines, I don't want to hear it. No! I predict Word Bearers. Because my favorite Legion deserves some fucking models. God. I know they are the definitive Chaos Space Marine Legion, but can I have 40k Erebus? Can I just have 40k Erebus to put him on the table and enrage people? You predict long cat. Of course you predict that. You can just do the redeem. Oh yeah, they might finally announce that that final kill team for the edition, or at least the first kill team box of the year, that might get announced. In fairness, Word Bearers don't need models. They need a couple of characters. And a better version of the Dark Apostle for rules. Actually, just a better version of the Dark Apostle model as well. I don't think the Dark Apostle model is that good. But, like, one thing I think I'd really like for the Word Bearers... What do you mean? I'm not...
Hello everybody and welcome to this
I don't hate your Dark Apostle, I just think... the basic Dark Apostle is a little bit boring.
To welcome you all here.
Yeah, we've got some.
I mean, it's a cool model, but like, if you,
we have some Warhammer 40,000.
I miss Dark Apostles when it was a souped-up Chaos Lord, you know?
And some Blood Bowl, so it is a packed.
Oh, an animation! Why?
Fantastic. We're joined by.
I'm not gonna buy and add it to my pile of shame.
Thank you for coming and
I have a perfectly normal amount of unpainted miniatures. I'll have you know.
It's nice to know where you're all from. So if you wouldn't mind just punching into the chat, if you're in Twitch, we'll be following along. We've got some people monitoring the questions and making sure that Eddie and I get fed the right information to let us know where you're tuning in from. While you do that, maybe we can talk about what we've been doing hobby-wise.
You've been doing some hobby, Adam?
I have been doing some hobby. Here is my latest offerings. I've been doing an Angels of Death kill team for kill team. And I've Dark Angels them up. You can see there, because they come in blue plastic. And I've been adding bits from my pretty extensive Dark Angels bits box.
They look lovely.
Yeah, they're all right. They're a bit more advanced. They're all undercoated, and a couple of them are base coated.
Oh, show off.
Well, yeah, I've not played as much Kill Team as I'd like, and this is my endeavour to get like properly into it in the next few
we'll have
weeks.
to have a game when you've got them already.
Yeah.
Normal amount being would be 0. No, video audio is very quiet.
Thing, right? What about you?
They're just yapping about stuff that's not to do with the reveal show, though.
Top 2, I'd give you that.
Well,
here you go.
I've just been painting dreadnoughts mostly. Just big dreadnoughts, little dreadnoughts, all the dreadnoughts I could find.
Are these for anything?
They are for
the audio is as maxed out as it can be for me.
And my contribution to the team is just loads and loads of dreadnoughts.
And why? This is Brand Redmore's great.
Do you need it to be any louder, or is that good? Is that a good level?
I could find for my green company.
Oh, perfect. It'd be nice to just get a sense of where you're all tuning in from. We've got people tuning in from Spain and France, a bunch from the US, so welcome. Loads of people from the UK, and even here in Nottingham. And a couple, it seems, as far-flung as the upside-down lands of Australia. So well done for Iron Manning it and staying up all night. That's good.
What do you mean?
Really lovely to have
it's
you
like
here.
7:30 in the morning. Some of them have probably just woken up.
And you want to join in the conversation online.
And they're having their
breakfast. International social media teams. You'll see them here for Facebook and Instagram. Why not drop onto those handles and join in the conversation in your own language?
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. One of the things that we'll be doing, I mentioned previously, is we'll be keeping an eye on Twitch stream. If you want to ask a question, type the word question in block caps and then write your question afterwards, and we'll try and filter through and cover some questions about the things that we're showing. to make sure that you get the answers that you need.
Yeah, we'll try and tell you all the important stuff, but there might be some things that you really, really, really want to know. And if anything like that, pop them in the questions.
Yeah, I would suggest keeping it about the releases.
Oh yeah, not just generally, not just like, you know,
stuff,
how big is a blue whale, that sort of stuff.
Exactly, and there's only
specifically about Warhammer.
Yeah, there's only so much time in the world, right? We reckon we'll be here probably for the next hour and a quarter or
Something
so.
like
It
that,
just
yeah.
depends how fast we talk and how much stuff there is to show, and there is a lot. We've already told people what we're going to show.
Is there really a lot there?
We've already done the introductions.
I mean,
People
they've
had to
said
ask
that there
questions. I think it
are
might be
4
time
categories
to
at
do our
least.
first reveal. Let's go to the grim darkness of the Dark Millennium.
Hey! Pirates. What is that? Ooh, I like the sorcerer! Oh, he looks cool! Ooh, I like... Ooh! Ooh! So we're seeing... Oh, what is that? That looks cool as hell! Okay, I don't actually want red Corsairs,
all themed around the Maelstrom.
but I might get that box to kit bash a bunch of
This is a
stuff.
fairly sizable release for Warhammer 40,000.
I gotta be honest.
Armies are getting a lot of new plastic miniatures. Chaos Space Marines and the forces of the Eldari. If we start
Oh, wait,
on
she's-
the diabolically
she's-
heretical
she looks
side
cool
of things,
in the back.
This is Huron Blackheart and the Masters of the Maelstrom.
I
We knew, of course,
really
Huron
like
Blackheart
that
was on his way.
sorcerer.
We suspected there might have been some other
I
Corsair
really like
things
that
along
sorcerer
with
chap.
him, but we can now reveal that
I
he
wanna
is
turn
on his way
them
as
into
part
a
of
Dark Apostle
character box set,
that
not
I will
unlike
play as
the
a Chaos
Titus box
Lord
set we saw
and just call him a
released
Dark
over
Apostle.
recent weeks. And it is a phenomenal set of miniatures, starring, of course, Huron Blackheart. We've
I
seen
don't
this guy
care for
before a little
Huron.
bit, but just a reminder for those of you who might not have seen him already.
It's always nice to look at the Tyrant of Adab, the master of the Red Corsairs. There he is with his little demonic helper, the Hammer Dryer. And
The Hammer Dryer isn't a demonic helper, it's like a little pet. It's his pet.
Of Captain Andocles.
Bruh, read the books.
Chapter.
Fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't come alone, as you mentioned. There is a swathe of interesting characters in his retinue. Why don't we take a look at some of those?
He gets a
First
doggo.
up would be Geryon the Corpse Master. He's the Lord Apothecary of the Red Corsairs. He was the apothecary in the Astral Claws. The chapter
I love
that was.
how like that guy is very
And he's
clearly
part
still
of
alive.
Huron's, machinations to
That's a
sort of,
really cool.
play about with their gene seed and
That's a fucking
evade
terrifying
the
miniature,
Hive,
actually.
which is
Naughty.
the whole problem that kicked off the Fourth Quadrant Rebellion in the first place.
And the rest is history. of
Yeah,
course.
well, exactly so.
So some fun stuff about how he plays in games. Obviously, he is kind of not really got the best interest at heart of the Red Corsairs that he battles alongside. You can see a Red Corsair on the base there, probably
clutching the apron
Psychic bat.
awkwardly.
Oh,
yeah,
he's a
he's not
psychic
going to get the medical attention that he's particularly looking for. He has a special rule basically where if a Red Corsair unit near him is at half strength, he can have a command point because he's harvesting the gene seed and that's what he's looking for. He can also bring model tech into the unit that he is in. So
That's kind of funny.
Huron and his retinue are a little bit more durable.
Not the battlefield medic that the Red Corsairs might want, but definitely the one they deserve. Next up in line
like him.
Is Qatar Garrix, who is the headsman of the Red Corsairs. This is Huron Blackheart's personal executioner, and he comes appropriately enough from the Executioner's chapter, one of those chapters swept up in the Fourth Quadrant Rebellion and part of the Badab War. He
call it
signed
the
on
Badab War.
permanently
Stop
with Huron
trying to
Blackheart
call it the Fourth
after
Quadrant
the events of that,
Rebellion.
and now serves as kind of like a warning to any Red Corsairs who might
Joni,
want to step
how you
out of line.
doing?
His presence on the bridge of a vessel
Did I ping
will
Discord?
quell even the smallest rumor of like
I feel like
insurrection.
I did.
Yeah, I think if you turn up with the heads of the previous 7 people who had insurrections, that certainly sends a message, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
In game terms, no massive surprises that he is very good at killing enemy characters. He has precision and anti-character on his weapons, which is pretty cool.
And he
that's
just looks
kind of
incredible.
interesting.
Really grim and foreboding character.
I thought this guy was going to be a chaplain.
Send the message to anybody who wants to hear it. Next up in this retinue, and if you had Mantis Warriors in 2026 on your bingo card, congratulations. This is Garlon Soul Eater, who was once a Mantis Warriors librarian. He has signed up with the Red Corsairs, and he is known as the Tyrant's Witch, a formidable psyker, now a Chaos Sorcerer.
That's
and
a
he
very
uses his
cool
powers
model.
to sort of corrupt the minds of those around him.
I
There's
love
stories
the-
of him
I love the
turning
old school
crews of,
helmet on this guy.
gun decks against their allies and like firing salvos at
And your first day of your part-time job, it was awful.
Huron's spy master and manipulates all of the sort of schemes around.
There's a lot of schemes if you're a pirate to keep track of.
Well, I imagine so, right? He's also got a really cool helmet, and the rumour is he hasn't taken it off for more than a decade, and maybe he's hideously mutated underneath.
Could be.
Probably.
He's got some really tasty rules in Warhammer 40,000 as well. He has a precision psychic attack that is d6 plus 1 damage, which means you can basically pick out enemy characters in units.
Rotate
and
the 360,
out,
God.
Mind wrench them out of reality.
Stop doing back and forth.
Yeah, another great Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, I suppose. Within
he's a very cool model, though. Probably my favourite model of the lot.
And is the captain of the Reign of Spite. This is Captain.
Hey, she's got a peg leg!
He was once a Imperial Navy commander from the Solar Segmentum fleets. Incredibly well placed within the noble houses.
Latara Saren's Forge World model wishes she looked this good. Holy shit.
Outmaneuvered once she was injured.
Like, I like the Latara Saren model,
position and station with
but
from her.
I think this one's
in
better.
revenge, she essentially orchestrated the handover of an entire.
Yeah, it reminds you of some 90s Chaos models that have that helmet.
To a pirate fleet.
It very much seems to echo
And now
like
she
those
serves
classic
on
designs.
one of the biggest battle cruisers in Huron's fleet, where she oversees a lot of his operations. She also joins the battlefield sometimes, which is why she's on this command airs here.
Yeah, I think this is
That's
my
such a
favourite
cool
model. From this box set.
It's really good.
It's really, really
I
fun.
love
It's
the
like a nice
pistol and the little
characterful
sash.
diorama piece. The thing
I
that
know
she's
Wenlock.
floating around on.
She
Actually
looks
is something that she
fantastic.
uses during boarding of enemy ships. So it's effectively like a mobile command.
Genuinely,
plug it into the command stations of enemy ships once they've been boarded to take it over.
Yeah.
So she's all in pirate.
You can imagine all the mechadendrites underneath.
Latara, if her sculptor was competent. I don't think Latara's sculpt is bad. I just feel like the character deserves better.
I like the little bird skulls on the shoulder as well. I like to imagine one of those was a parrot.
The character deserves better than she got.
Fantastic model and really exciting edition.
Like that to me just seems like, oh, it's a guardsman officer. It's not.
Guess what this means. They've looked.
I don't think anyone guessed right.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you did, well done.
This is a Tyrellian dog soldier known as the Enforcer. She is essentially the warrior that Huron sends out to hunt down those who
I recognise bits of these from the Warhammer preview. That claw on the left hand and that gun.
On deals. And so the Enforcer
I've never
hunts
heard
them
of a
down,
Tyrellian
relentlessly.
before.
She'll go as far as it takes to do so. And she takes with her Plunder, which is the canine-ish, canid-looking creature. That is, if you were wondering,
That's cool, though.
Adolescent Barghisi.
Really cool.
The term Barghisi is familiar to you.
I like
because
that
in
the Red
Warhammer
Corsairs
40,000,
work with
there's
aliens.
hyperviolent Barghisi,
I didn't know
which
that
appears
was a
a couple of times
thing.
in our lore.
Well, it kind of
This
makes
is what they look
sense.
like before they are big enough to be called hyperviolent. When she first met it, it bit her arm off, which is why she's got that unusual bionic sort of fist thing that you can see there.
That looks
Now
like
it
Tau
serves
Tech that
essentially
she's
as
like
her little
nicked.
hunter killer. But she has to keep an eye on it because they're.
No, there is
prone
one
to
thing.
space
There is
of
one thing I
really
feel like the
rapid
preview
growth,
people do, and
eventually
I'm not.
they
I
become
don't
too big
hate
to
it,
manage, and
but I feel
rumors
like
of,
it's one thing that
Barghisi,
they
devastating
always
entire
try and
spaceports,
do.
like
Is that they
run
try
riot.
and
So she will
stress
eventually have to take it to the
that any of the like
40,000 equivalent
inhuman
of the future.
characters,
Or the space farm.
Oh yeah, we're a happy ending for everybody. In
Are
the Grim
women?
Darkness of the far future.
because it happened with
What
the
this miniature does,
it happened with the
in terms
Kill
of,
Team
like,
Tomb
telling
Wild
you about the
character
story
as
of
well.
Huron and the Maelstrom itself is indicating that not only
I feel like
have
it's
you got,
like because they
renegade
mostly
Chaos
do
Space Marines and
male
humans,
human sculpts.
you
They're just
also
like,
have
yeah, that's a
alien
woman,
pirates
that's a
and bounty
woman.
hunters and all the kind of ne'er-do-wells and piratical
Yeah.
forces from the whole region gravitating towards the Maelstrom. So it's not just about.
It's very cool. They
Chaos
don't even
Space
need you to
Marines.
worship
He
Chaos.
is the master of
Really?
this enormous pirate empire. within
Tyrellians
the
do work for the Tau.
The
That makes
forces
a lot
at
of
his
sense.
disposal are vast, and if you want to resist,
Yeah, but
the
I thought
sort of
the-
oppressive regime, as they would call it, of the Imperium or other places, then the Maelstrom might be the place for you. And I'm sure he's a very kind-hearted leader.
Yeah.
Speaking of Huron Blackheart, he does not come alone. The Masters of the Maelstrom are joined by this box set. Everything you see here comes in a big box called the Lords of the Maelstrom and is essentially part of a Red Corsairs army. It's got loads of great models in it, including some brand new ones.
What are
Let's take you
those?
through, what you can see in here.
Yeah, so some of these miniatures, all of these miniatures will eventually be available separately. Yeah. Some of these are old miniatures with upgrade kits. Some of them are brand new miniatures. These are Raiders. They are a brand new miniature set. These are effectively the elite.
They're
of the Red
Mark
Corsairs.
V
They sit somewhere
Marines!
between Legionaries and Chosen in terms of power and hierarchy.
Yeah.
They're Mark V
and
Marines.
they
This is
are
actually
the
Heresy
veterans of
armor.
The Barab Wars and the various.
Like, look
different
at it.
conflicts
Look at the
within
different mixed
Maelstrom.
armor marks.
As far as in game.
This is
they are
so
a really useful
cool.
little unit. They have infiltrate. They have 3
This is
wounds
so
each, they have a
cool.
really
You
respectable
can see it's
combat,
Mark 4, Mark
stat
3.
line,
Actually, no, there's
and
no
they've
Mark
also
4.
got
There's
things
Mark
like melter
6,
guns
there's
and
Mark
power fists and stuff
3.
that you can put into the unit. So a really useful all-round unit.
Actually,
they're not just great in terms of game rules, but also the models
Mark
are
6,
fantastic.
Mark
right?
3,
This is the personification
Mark 8.
of what it means to
Don't
be a
knock my
renegade
stuff
Chaos
over,
Space
Cat.
Marine. You're
Wow.
existing outside of the structures of these mighty Space Marine legions. So a lot of their war gear looks scavenged, and the plate armor and so on is
That
sort of
looks
cobbled
so
together.
cool. I
They've got
love
lots of
these
trappings on them
guys.
from various battles and enemies that they fought. It's really quite exciting to see these.
Lots of them have got like
This,
pelts of
yes,
wild animals
mad.
or
Yeah,
Corsair,
absolutely.
as I like to
Hi.
call it.
Oh, very
Thank
good,
you.
very
I'm really
There's
happy with
more,
that.
within
It
this
has a
box
lot
set,
of different toggles.
Next up, you can see
This
the
this
Chaos
might be the
Terminator
year.
Squad. These are the Chaos Terminators that you already know and love if you're a Chaos Space Marine player. The difference here being they have new
painted
sculpted
red.
detail shoulder pads, which are included within this box set.
It's been upgraded.
Essentially,
It's
you can
shoulder
just
pads.
tailor them to look
Yeah.
like Red Corsairs. Obviously, Chaos Terminators are fantastically useful if you're living your life via the medium of shipboarding actions.
Yeah,
and so on.
there's quite a lot of Chaos Terminators that show up in some of the Red Corsair.
I'm
Black
getting
Library
this
stories
set.
as well.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
some
getting
very
this set.
thematic
I'm
ones
getting
to
this
have.
set for my word bearers.
I think they look great in red and black.
Holy
as well.
It's a
shit.
really striking colour
It's a good colour
scheme,
scheme.
isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Similarly, you have the Legionaries. This is the same kit that you might be used to from the other
Man, that's
Chaos
so
Space Marine
cute.
Legions. And again, there's upgrades
I really
that
like
tailor them
this.
towards looking like Red Corsairs. So you've got these fantastic Red Corsair shoulder pads, and then you've got some other details as well. We'll show what they look like in a moment. But you've got like heads and some.
There's like ammo belts,
extra
aren't
bits
there, and
pieces,
trophies
yeah.
and that
there
sort
you
of
go.
stuff. There we go.
Perfect.
That is the whole upgrade kit. So you can see there, you've got the Terminator shoulder pads, you've got the shoulder pads that fit Legionaries, but they'll also fit anything in that kind of like
Yeah,
size
absolutely.
of armor. If you want to have some like Raptors or something, you could do those too. You've got some
I
really
really
cool
like
unhelmeted
this.
heads
I think
there.
the heads are the most exciting.
The heads are
bit for
cool,
me
yeah.
out of
I mean,
this.
it's
They're
all
really
cool.
I mean, I
And then
don't
there's some
care for
big
the heads.
transfers
I'll
as
put
well, so if you
helmets
want to
on
have, like,
that.
Rhinos and Land Raiders and Dreadnoughts and things that have.
They are word
the
bearers.
appropriate iconography.
I'm turning them into
what you
word
get
bearers.
with
I
the
don't give a
sets is way
shit.
more than you
These
need
guys
to
are my
just the
word
models
bearers
that come
now.
in the set. So if you're looking to build a big Red Corsairs force, well, you'll be able to. Right, that was
Anyone who
all,
doesn't
pretty
like-
exciting, but it's not done. There's also the Traitor Guardsmen.
Oh
These
my
are the
God, new
exact
Traitor
Guardsmen
Guard!
I love. They're just in red and working for the Red Corsairs, and they kind of exemplify all of those people that flock to Huron's banner and sort of try and survive outside of the restrictions of the Astra Militarum and the Imperium at large.
Yep, that's fair. And we've got one more miniature, I think. For
Yeah,
the Red
and
Corsairs.
so bringing up the rear is actually my favourite model out of this launch.
Oh,
I
he
think the
looks
Reef
cool
Captain
as
really just
fuck.
hits home on what it means to be a Renegade Chaos Space Marine. Just a fantastic model. He's a multi-part kit, but the
He
one
looks
right in the
cool
centre
as
is the
hell.
one that really gets me.
Oh
Loads of detail,
my
loads of fun there. He's
God.
picked up bits and pieces from
Look
lots of
at this
battles, and he
guy.
just looks incredible, and he's quite good in the game, right?
Yeah, so there's loads of options on the kit to start with. So this is a multi-part plastic kit. You've got a choice of 2 different combat weapons.
at
They've got
this
different
guy.
stats in the game. You've got a sword and you've got a mace. You can have a plasma pistol if you want him to have, or you can have a bolt pistol. He is a very good addition to your army. He is a Reeve captain. So I suppose might indicate that he's either maybe a veteran of the Astral Claws, maybe one of the previous captains, or maybe someone who's risen through the ranks of the Red Corsairs since. So he is somewhere thereabouts of Chaos Lord level in terms of his abilities.
Yeah, this
He
is
a
the
little
guy
bit
that
less
comes in
fighty
the
than a Chaos
army
Lord, but
set.
he brings more to the table in terms of abilities that you can give to your unit. He has Infiltrate, which means that he's a great addition to some of those Red Corsair squads we talked about before. So he can be right up in the enemy's face early on in the game.
I
He
really
can
like
also,
this.
give you loads of abilities when you charge into close combat, and you've got lots of stuff across the Chaos Space Marine Codex that allows you to have things like run and charge, so they stack really nicely with those. So you
Smug
can get
face.
an
Always
extra point of
smug.
strength, an extra point of AP, and re-rolling charges with this guy on that unit, which might be infiltrating right up in your enemy's face, which is a pretty tasty little combo.
Nice.
And worth saying as well, with all of the stuff that we've just talked through there, you can absolutely do this as a Red Corsairs army if you want. If you want to go all in for Huron Blackheart and go with the red and black of that force, you can. Or you can add these into any other Chaos Space Marine army. So if you've
Damn
got
right
an
you
existing
can.
Black Legion army and you want to sprinkle a little bit of Red Corsairs into it, or team them up with the Alpha Legion, you can absolutely do that.
Perfect. We are not even halfway done with the stuff for this Maelstrom section. We've talked about Huron and the Red Corsairs. In that video that we saw at the beginning, we saw
That's only
another
half the
force.
pirates we have.
Exactly.
The
So
pirates
let's
like
go and
you,
look
lol.
at Prince Iriel and his Eldritch Raiders. So,
these
little
look
bit of a
cool
lore
as
dump for you.
hell.
If you're unaware, Prince Iriel is a renowned Eldari
Look at this
hero.
pose. This
He is
is
the
cool
saviour
here.
of Craftworld Ianden when it was under attack from the hive fleets of the Tyranids. And really, solidified his sort of place in legend. But the thing he loves is to range across the galaxy, reaving, and at the head of this army, the Eldritch Raiders. This is a box set. Everything you see on here is included within it, and we'll take you through and have a quick look at all of those things.
See you later,
First out of the
Hangars.
gates
Thank you
are
for
the
dropping
Corsair
by.
Sky Reavers.
Yeah, so this is a really useful little unit for Corsairs. You can include these in a Corsair army or in a entirely Craftworld army if you want to, and this is a really
They're
flexible,
diet
fast-moving
swooping
unit.
hawks.
You can kit them out in all sorts of different ways. They come as standard with Corsair blades and Shuriken pistols, which is a great little kind of
They're
combo
power
to pick on little
weapons.
isolated enemy units. But you've also got the option to
Shredders?
include quite a lot of different special weapons in the unit. So if you want to make them anti-infantry,
That's a-
you've got
that's
things
a Dark
like
Eldar
shredders and flamers.
shredder.
If you want to make them anti-tank, you can put fusion guns and stuff like that in the unit. And they've got a lot
that's
of
cool as hell.
movement abilities. They come with Scout.
These
Deep
poses
Strike,
are amazing.
and a reactive move ability as standard, which means they're going to be very hard to pin down. So they've got a phenomenal kind of objective game.
Yeah, they really play into that sort of hit and withdraw aspect
Yes.
of the Eldritch Raiders that makes them famous. They're also a lovely callback to some very classic Rogue Trader era artwork. If you're of a certain vintage like me, you'll recognise it, and it feels quite nice to see that sort of imagery.
I don't think so. If you look here, they're going to be in Codex Eldari.
In a similar vein, in terms of the
I
flexibility,
imagine
and the
they'll
way
have
they
a
fight,
detachment
there's
that
another
lets
unit within
Drukhari
this set.
use these as
You'll
well.
be familiar with them if you've maybe played Kill Team over the last few years.
Hell
These are
yeah.
the Corsair Void Reavers. So it's the same kit returned, and they'll be in this Eldritch Raiders box. Tell us about the Void Reavers, if you would.
Yeah, so the Corsair Void Reavers are your kind of line Corsair infantry. That's a really flexible kit.
love
You can
the
build them
mix
as either
of
a kind of battle line
Dark
version or
Eldar
an elite
and
version. They
Craftworld
have loads of different
equipment.
weapon options. So they're one of the most flexible kits in Warhammer 40,000 in terms of the different range of stuff you can give them. You can make them very anti-infantry or very anti-character or very good at shooting or combat or taking out tanks or whatever you need, really. The bits in the kits are really interchangeable.
I'm not
with the
super
other new
keen on
Corsair
playing
stuff that's on its way
Eldar.
as well. So it was already a really flexible unit, and now it's even more
Corsairs?
flexible in terms of
Corsairs
how you
are
can build
cool
it.
as hell.
And, if you are a fan of kind of kit bashing stuff together, this is
Kill
a
Team
dream
must have
as well.
sold. Well, that's what they're doing. They're using
to lead these, all
they're
into
using
battle,
Kill
there are two
Team
heroes
as
within
the
Eldritch
proving
Raiders
ground
set,
for
the first of
concepts
which
before they
is
actually invest
Karseth.
in them.
Karseth is a Void Dreamer.
This
What
guy
is a
looks
Void
so
Dreamer, I
cool.
hear you ask? Well, a Void Dreamer is a type of Eldar Seer, and Karseth specialises in being able to sense the subtle fluctuations in the fabric of reality. So one of the gifts that Karseth has is to detect warp translations. Imagine that you come out of the warp with your fleet and you're straight into the gun sights of the Eldritch Raiders sat waiting for you. That's quite the boon for Iriel and his team.
That's so cool.
Also, Karseth specifically coordinates the efforts of the Eldritch Raiders, making sure that they're all working in synchronicity.
That's no longer
and
the case.
imagine them
Eldrad's
sort of speaking into the
One's
minds
model
of
is
the warriors
classic,
and
though. It
making sure
hasn't
that
really
everybody's all on the
changed
same
since
page.
he was a metal
Yeah,
sculpt.
so a really useful unit in
Even the
game
plastic
terms as well.
version kinda looks
this
exactly
is
the
an Eldar
same.
Striker and comes with a ranged psychic attack, like Psychic Storm style thing. But the reason that they really pop is the special rules that come with them. One of them is the ever useful ability to stop enemy units deploying within 12, so they can see the future, you can never catch them off guard, sort of thing. That's great to put on your backfield objective or to just screen out large portions of the battlefield to stop things like Corsair Terminators teleporting
exactly
behind
so.
you. That's not a thing that would be good for you. The other ability that they have is if you manage to hit an enemy unit with their psychic attack, all the rest of the Corsairs that fire into that unit hit with an extra point of strength. So it's a
cool.
really good synergistic
Gas
unit
Mask
to help the
Psyker.
rest of your Corsairs hit
Gas
even
Mask
harder.
Psyker.
Perfect. And of course, they are led by none other than Prince Iriel. Prince Iriel is the outcast Prince of Iandon, and he's returned now with his Corsair fleet.
He looks
to deliver
so
his craft well
cool.
from annihilation once again by leading an army into the Maelstrom. He's equipped with the Spear of Twilight, a very famous weapon. It's extremely dangerous. He's on his eye. That bionic is called the Eye of Wrath. It's powerful in its own right. And he is a devastating combat leader as well as an actual leader of warriors.
Yeah, so a really, a phenomenal miniature, right? Like it looks really cool. It's definitely a great glow up. But it's still very recognisable as the
Eldar
Prince
is
Uriel
supposed to be
that we know and
tall.
love. In game terms, he makes a phenomenal either leader for a Corsair army, or you can put him into a standard Craftworld force.
looks so
and he has
cool,
a very
chat.
useful ability to redeploy.
Okay,
some of the units
I'm
before the game
tempted.
starts,
I don't
and he
think
also has some boosts
this
to
year,
whatever unit
but
he's joined. So just a really good all-round leader and a combat stat line
Really,
that punches,
really good reveal
up
for
with some of
the
best
Eldar.
of the Eldar heroes. He's got a really nice damage 3 weapon, which is the sweet
If
spot
there's
for killing
rules
a
that
lot
let
of
me
the
integrate
best
these guys
units
with
in
my
Warhammer
Dark
40,000
Eldar,
these days, so he can
you should expect that to
rough and tumble
come
with
at
the
some
best of them,
point.
really.
And he's got 2 banners, and banners are the best. So
But that's how you know he's good, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
it comes with 2
Eandon.
banners.
So obviously the other thing that you might have seen in that video and in the army shot that we saw was this. This is the Starfang. It is an Aeldari unit
looks
which
like,
is designed to go alongside the Corsair raiders.
It looks
as
a
they
bit
fight.
like a Viper
It's
crossed
pretty
with
good in its own right. Eddie, can you talk us through it?
I absolutely can. So this
Was
is
it the
a
Venom?
really
The
useful
Dark Eldar
little
Venom?
utility
It
unit.
looks a bit
So
like
first
both
and
of
foremost,
them,
it has
like a
fairly
little- they
respectable
had a
amount of
baby.
firepower.
Well-
Its firepower is geared to killing heavy infantry level stuff. So AP3, strength 6, 2 damage stuff. So it's a
Holy
space marine
shit.
killer in terms of its damage output. There's a disintegrator cannon you can see on the front of it there. But one of the other things it does for your army, which is really useful, is it can make one of your infantry units have stealth. So its grenade launchers can basically like cover the
I like
one of your
this.
infantry units in
Halbert, thank you for the
kind of cover and give them
and
effectively
apparently as well equipped
makes them
to
harder
play
to hit,
Yu-Gi-Oh
which
based
is
on
really
that shield
useful
shape.
because
Lol.
a lot of your army is going to be quite fragile.
Yes.
Nice. One of the things that's really exciting about this is it is a 2-for
Matt,
kit,
I
as we
think-
sometimes
I think
call them.
you're right. I
Essentially,
think,
the kit that's in
yeah.
the box, and eventually it will be available separately.
G-Dubs has been
also
making
makes the Viper, which I believe
Oh!
eventually the box will live under. This is a classic Eldari vehicle, which has been around for 30 years or more.
I think it's longer than 30
Or
years.
you
yeah.
age
I don't
me
know how I
terribly.
feel about this
this
update
is
to the
a classic
Viper,
light
if
attack
I want to be
vehicle.
honest.
It's 2 crew. It's got that turret on the
I don't
back,
know how I feel
and
about
it's got
this.
a range of weapons available to it, right?
Yeah, so this is the updated Viper. It will be recognizable to anybody who's had a Viper in their army. It
Like, do you
still
know what I
retains
mean?
a
Like
lot of
that
the key
gap
features that you'll
between the
recognise,
front and
but,
back
some of
compartment.
the
That
weapon
feels
options are a little
weird.
more flexible than they used to be. It still has the option of things like shuriken cannon. You can have a star cannon on there. You can have a bright lance. Underneath the Viper, you also have the option now to put
do like
an
that that's a
Eldar
dual
missile
build kit
launcher on
there.
it. So that gives you the potential to make it quite a good anti-tank unit. You can put 2 of these in a unit, so you can imagine 2 bright lances, 2 Eldar missile launchers shooting into something becomes quite formidable. Or you can get it out for pretty good anti-infantry with
You can
shuriken
double them up
cannons
in
and
a
star
squad.
cannons and that
You
sort
can
of
have
thing.
squads
so
of
here
2
we've
of
got
them.
a really good look at it in person on the desk. It is a fantastic looking kit. It's got that classic silhouette that you
I don't-
expect.
I
if
want
you
to
build
like
it the right
it.
way, the turret
I
has some
want to
play, so
like
you can
it.
maneuver a little. This is
But
a
I
heavy
just
metal
feel like
painted
that
one,
gap-
and I don't want to
With
get in
that
trouble,
gap-
so I'm not
that
gonna
gap
fiddle with it
bothers
too
me for some
enthusiastically.
reason. Do you know what I mean?
And then I guess the major difference is the sort of the positioning of the turrets and the way they work. It's a really just a fantastic sort of innovation on a very classic design. The Viper.
I
cannon,
don't
that's very
dislike
Yeah, I
it.
mean, the current
But it
Viper
just-
model is lovely.
yeah,
But it's definitely
there's just
showing
something
its
a
age
bit
little
off about
around
it,
the
you
edges.
know?
So the crispness on the detail on this, some of the posability of the weapons and that sort of thing. The engines now match some of the things like the jet bike engine, so
Yeah.
it fits really neatly and nicely into an Eldari army.
Inside the cockpit's detailed, so you can paint that and then seal the canopy in with the sort of
No,
transparent.
no.
Plastic.
No, I'm
and
giving
you've
them
got
the
options for
full
the
glass
the
shield, and
crew.
I'm painting
This
that
one with
like
the,
blue and
the
grey.
Starfang has sort of crew
If you
that
like
looks more
Simhan,
sort
there
of
you go.
Corsair
Yeah,
oriented, and then you've got
yeah.
the classic
I'm
sort of
not a
triangle
Simhan
helmets on the
person.
Viper, but you can
I'd
mix and
probably,
match,
if I
which
were
is a
to
bit
paint
really exciting.
Eldar,
Where do you learn
I'd probably go with
about
the
all of these
Eandon.
exciting Corsairs, both the
I like
Red Corsairs
I like
and the Eldritch
the
Raiders?
blue-yellow
Well,
look, and
of
also
course,
that
we
they
use
have a
book for that.
lot of wraiths.
And here we go. This is the succinctly named Warhammer 40,000, the Maelstrom, Lair of the Tyrant, into the Nightmare Realm. If you are familiar with Titus, which just released, I think, this is a very similar idea. So it's 4 books contained in a slipcase that detail all of the events that we've talked about and the characters and things, and some brilliant new and exciting ways to play Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, so
That's
there's
cool.
quite a lot to go through here. Just like the 500 Worlds books we've just seen released, there are.
I
there's
probably
loads of
won't.
good
I
stuff in
probably
here.
won't get any of
Lair
these
the Tyrant
end
is
campaign
your lore
books.
book, so this dives into the history and environments and all the locations within the Maelstrom in a
God,
level
that
of detail
art
that
of
we've never
Huron
seen
goes
before.
really hard,
You find out
though.
about the key planets within that region.
Like,
the
it looks
bits that
great.
Huron is in control of, the various different battles that are ongoing.
Amy.
It's definitely not a unified empire,
not
right? There
bad.
are lots of factions all playing for their part and trying to carve out their little pirate empires within the Maelstrom. It also tells you all about the Red Corsairs and particularly Huron's bodyguard and his retinue that follows him round, and Prince Uriel and his Corsairs as they battle against the Red Corsairs for dominance.
Yeah, each of these books does a slightly different thing. For example, Crucible of Champions is quite exciting because it is encourages you to sort of create your own hero, stamp your own identity on them, which is a thing I love to do whenever I'm playing a game of Warhammer 40,000.
Yes,
I imagine the commander
more
of
of
my army
that,
is me, so that's
please.
very exciting. and obviously
I think you'd make a great pirate.
Cooler than me because he's a Dark Angels company master normally. But you can sort of get different war gear and different special rules and all of that stuff to make really exciting and unique characters.
You like this?
And then use them in your games, which is great.
Strange creature.
Lair of the Tyrant detachments.
What you want for pirates
as you
versus
might have
pirates?
guessed, has some detachments in.
You want
so one of the things that's worth
pirates
saying
free.
about this book is much like will happen with the 500 Worlds Titus book, all of the rules that are for match play will also be made available online and in the Warhammer 40,000 app, but you can also find them in print in Lair of the Tyrant, and there's some new detachments for Chaos Space Marines, as you'd imagine, and for Eldari. So one of those detachments allows you, for example, to make a very heavily Corsair-themed Eldari force.
Perfect. Raid and Ruin lets you put together campaigns that involve things like ship-to-ship actions and stuff, so really exciting. Right.
Like the title of King of the Pirates.
This is not the only stuff that we've got to talk about with regards to the
But
Maelstrom.
Uriel is actually a prince.
We also have some new battalions. There's 2 of these. The first one is the Drukhari battalion.
Ooh!
And it's packed full of, let's be honest, raiders who are looking
They love piracy. They
Look-
were kind of the original Eldar pirates, the Drukhari here, and this is a very heavily witch-themed box. So if you're looking to start a Drukhari army and you've got an eye on gladiatorial pits of Comera,
this combined with the
a succubus, 2 venoms, 3 reavers, 5 hellions.
Yeah, I
10
like
witches.
this.
So loads of that witch
I like
stuff
this.
that you were referring to
I might
before.
pick this up, assuming it
and
doesn't
really
sell
good
out
bedrock for
immediately.
a new Drukhari army, or just the reinforcements if you're already deep into that collection.
So I don't really
There's
have
another
any
one.
witches.
This is the Leagues of Votan battalion, and that includes the Memnir strategist.
Why
and
are these
6
two,
Iron
though?
Steel
They don't
Jacks,
have any
for
real
them to
thing.
control and get the best out of, and then 3 Hernkin pioneers to sort of range ahead of the army and scout ahead. And again, ideal for exploring the Maelstrom and bolstering an existing Leagues of Votan force if you want to.
And kind of a nod as well that a lot of the lore in this Maelstrom book is relevant to a big chunk of Warhammer 40,000. Like there are loads of people within the Maelstrom all trying to carve out little mini empires. There's Orc freebooters and Drukhari and Leagues of Votan and all sorts of stuff.
And there's opportunities in there. It's like it's sort of untested.
For those
space.
with the will to claim it.
Exactly so. Fantastic. So we have been keeping an eye on some questions, and I've got some that I will just quickly fire out here. So Prime Mod Hale asks, will Huron and his mates be available separately later, or will we be condemned to a character box?
So Huron is in the character box in the same way that Titus is. So there's 2 big boxes coming out initially for the Red Corsairs. One of them is the Red Corsairs army, which is the Reeve captain leading a force of Red Corsairs, and the other one is Huron and his bodyguard. Everything in the big battalion box.
What do you think is coming next, chat?
I think for the moment Huron's staying with.
I don't quite get the.
Absolutely. The next one is, can Huron's retinue join another unit?
I don't.
I think it's a unit in its own right and operates independently.
That's a fair thing.
That is a good question.
I don't think so.
Perfect. And then a question, I think, regarding the Viper from Jocked 4020 is the turret interchangeable? I think if you built it carefully, you might be able to interchange the weapons, but I think once you've built the turret, that's your lot. So
I haven't built it, so I don't know for sure. You could certainly have a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep your questions coming in. We'll try and answer some as we go through. One last one from
I might try and get that.
If I've said your name wrong, I apologise. And your question
Maelstrom
is, which factions
Drukhari
can be
set.
played in the Maelstrom campaign?
Maybe.
Absolutely loads of them. There's an enormous list which I won't go through, but it includes things like Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Orcs, Freebooters would be great in there. Loads of things. The idea is that you can get involved and have good fun. So if you want to explore the Maelstrom and this terribly violent, chaotic environment, this would be a really good opportunity for you
I'm
to do
quite sure that we will list the factions that you can use on Warhammer Community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can decide for yourself. I think it's almost everything in Warhammer 40.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we've left somebody out, to be honest. Perfect. Thank you very much. We should press on. So.
There is a little bit more Warhammer 40,000 later on as well.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Damn right.
We're about to go to the Mortal Realms, but there's
You need
more
Reptile,
Warhammer
Alien,
40,000
Kill
later.
Team versus
But let's
Catfolk.
go to the Mortal Realms now.
I feel like. Oh, a comment.
Lord, yes. You can't just solve all of our problems by increasing the bone tithe. The hell I can't.
That's hilarious. That's amazing. Oh, these look great. These look great. Rat would love these. Irradiated Rat would love these. Ooh, he looks cool.
The armies of the Bone Tithe received some much desired reinforcements with this huge glut of models for the Ossiarch
That was
Bone Reapers.
hilarious.
Eddie, let's talk about what we saw, I guess.
Yeah, so this is a fairly large drop of new miniatures for the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. A lot of these units fill a really nice niche in the army that players have been looking forward to for a long time.
I don't play Age of Sigmar.
We saw a Ossiarch with a bow quite a while back, actually, in a Warhammer Underworlds warband.
Canaan's Hunters, I think.
Absolutely, and I think
I don't know what I'd
people were
play.
speculating. Of course, Nagash didn't make just one bow, right? That would be a really strange thing to have done. He did, in fact, make loads of bows, and he's given it to his phalanxes, and now you can have entire units of bowmen.
Skeletons would be kind of easy to do,
and that does some really fun stuff for you in terms of how you might approach building an army. You can now make a very shooty death army, which has never really been an option before. You can imagine loads of these backed up by your Mortek crawlers and things.
I like
these. You can absolutely dominate.
I like these a lot.
They've got some really tasty rules in game. They've got a very respectable damage output with 2 shots each and a point of rend in there. And one of the things to watch on them is those little braziers that follow the unit around.
Yeah, these are my favourite guys in the kit, really. I like the little familiars and stuff. And these are Balefire braziers you see in the bottom left of your screen right now. They're essentially
that's a
tokens.
really
What
cool
happens is you fire
backdrop
a
they've
whole
got for
unit
this.
at one enemy. Once you're done, you place one of these Balefire braziers on that unit. And that has a few effects. The most significant from my
These are
point of
great
view,
models.
is that
AOS has some really nice sculpts.
wounds or get models back.
Why are they all
instead
missing
you
an
take
eye
that token
though?
off. And I rely as my Stormcast Eternal player on repairing damage to my unit, and so it's quite damning. In addition to it looking fantastic with those shrieking.
AOS always has
in the
little
flames.
companions. Well,
Yeah, the models are very cool as well. I like the kind of one eye look that they've got as well. So obviously Nagash forges.
Like a bonus eye in their forehead.
Yeah, well, but it's maybe not quite where you'd expect it to be. Maybe it's like right at the top of where you'd hold an arrow. I don't know if it makes you better at shooting an arrow.
Do they even see through eyes
I don't know.
anymore?
Who knows, right? So, but anyway, they're quite good at shooting. You'll definitely see some in Ossiarch army.
why does it look like they've got bone
Yeah,
muscles?
absolutely.
Like the bone is
Next
like an
up is another
exoskeleton
infantry
instead
unit,
of just
for the army.
being
These are the
like
Mortis Reapers.
part of them.
They are dread assassins from the realm of death, and they use their Reaper's blades to butcher the enemy, specifically enemy heroes.
Yes, so this is a very useful unit for taking on enemy heroes and kind of those little isolated useful units like wizards and priests and stuff like that. They've got 2 things that help them out with that. They've got anti-hero on all of their weapons. They also have the ability to effectively teleport through pieces of terrain.
Wait, what the fuck?
You can move towards a terrain feature, you can pick the unit up and you can redeploy it on the other side of that terrain feature. So you can catch out enemies that are trying to hide behind cover.
That's a really cool ability.
Trying to think you're safe, and these guys burst out the other side. That's quite nasty. And fantastic in terms of imagery. This is a very different look and feel to what we expect from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, who are normally quite regimented and sort of militaristic.
Yeah, they used to sort of frowned upon within some of the Ossiarch.
These guys get hard
circles,
counted
isn't it?
by
So
dogs.
Yeah, it's not quite the way it should be done.
It doesn't seem like it's fair. Like
Yes.
they are all about.
But I had to
rules,
think
aren't
for a
they?
second what you meant, and I was like,
That's true.
yes, they
You're the
do.
boss.
So, to lead these new...
Your guerrilla warfare
infantry
bias
models
is
into
exploding
combat,
right
we
now.
have a new hero. This is a Liege Mortek.
This guy looks
A
amazing.
good, solid battle line leader to accompany the troops, and he has some good abilities in the game.
Yeah, so I mean, first and foremost,
Not
he
bad.
is useful to have an infantry hero. You can use him to wander around with your infantry phalanxes. He has a particularly cool little ability, which is
that alt build,
if
though.
he is in combat with an enemy unit, and
That
you
alt
activate him
build
to
is
fight,
fire.
Another unit nearby can fight or shoot into the same combat.
I
and they
love
get,
that alternate
+1
helmet.
to their hit rolls if they do. That stacks really nicely with that new archer unit because effectively you can charge in with
That's
this
so
guy and then
cool.
they back him up with a rain of arrows
Yeah,
as he
absolutely.
slams into the enemy forces. So it's quite a kind of thematic look. He also stacks really nicely with your phalanxes of spearmen and line infantry.
I don't know
within the
anything
Ossiarch. So
about
just a really solid,
Ossiarch
dependable
Bone
hero to put in the
Reapers,
army.
but
if
like-
you're going for Mortek Guard, Triaxes and Crawlers,
This is
you
cool.
want a couple of these to keep everything operating at maximum efficiency, I think. That +1 bonus on those to hit rolls is really going to be great. Speaking of heroes, we also saw the Liege Cavalos on War Chariot. I feel like this is like something that Nagash dreamed and recalled from a world that was, back from ancient Nehekara with their, they were renowned for their chariots, and here
I like this.
we see a nightmare vision. brought
I
to
always
the
like
mortal
the look
realms.
of chariots, but
amazing.
like,
Yeah, so the Ossiarchs are very much Nagash's idea of an ideal army. So obviously twisted through the filter of the god of death. But these are very powerful units in the game. There's two versions of this kit. There's one that you can make into a hero chariot, and there's also a kind of standard chariot. The hero chariot is a really, really durable unit. They both are, but the hero one has 12 wounds, a 3-up save, and a ward save. So even without being fast and having lots of other abilities, he's just really hard to kill and get rid of. But he stacks really nicely if you send him in alongside some chariots.
That's
cool.
He's got some I feel like I don't have as much to say about this right now.
Units, even after they've charged in and done all their kind of damage and impact hits and stuff, you can keep just doing.
Yeah, I don't really know AOS, so I'm just thinking, oh, these are cool units.
Strike, right?
They're cool models. I have no idea of the context that they'd be in.
On the anvil and then just smash them away.
Again, I kind of do think it's a bit of an odd aesthetic they've gone for these guys.
Loads of new options.
Because they're meant to be skeletons, right? But they've made them all really big and muscular looking while still being skeletons.
You could imagine
it's a bit weird.
Really heavily into chariots,
it's a bit weird.
Death riders and stuff accompany them. Yeah. You can imagine armies that lean really.
I don't
heavily
think
into
it's bad.
A combined arms list.
They don't feel like bony boys. Like they look like bony boys, but they don't feel like bony boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Something completely different. Well, we're releasing the Null Myriad Phalanx. This is the personal army of Arkan the Black. And it's an army of
that looks cool
so
as hell.
Take Ossiarch Bone Reaper's army with a slightly different feel. Essentially, you
that's one of those Mortarch models or whatever they're called, right? Distinct bonuses. Wait, they have fucking skeleton dragon kind of things.
Get bonuses to make
you want
their
skinny
spellcasting more
skelly, you go vampires.
That
makes no sense.
Arcane protection to sort of reduce the.
That makes no sense. Well, what the fuck are those things?
It's super thematic.
What are those big beastie things in the back?
Death, right?
Yeah, he's also been part of Warhammer for
a very long time.
40 plus years at this point. But if you like magic and you like Ossiarchs and you want to just go all in for magic, this is one of the ways that you can do it.
I remember Arkan the Black. He was a necromancer in fantasy.
Any Ossiarch
absolutely.
He has a big hat.
There's another box set on their way as well.
So here we have the Heralds of the Bone Tithe, which is a regiment of renown for them.
Yeah, so effectively this means that you can put some of your Ossiarch units into any other death force. So if you have something like a Soulblight Gravelord's army, or a Nighthaunt army, or a Flesh Eater Court's army, you can send some of Nagash's tax collectors along with your force, so that when the battle has finished, they can go around the battlefield and gather up the bones of the fallen. There's some really nice little abilities in this unit. He's got a spell that means that if you cast it onto an enemy unit, they have to use a command point if they want to fight, which is
really nasty.
It's really, really good. You've got to get it cast. You've got to get it cast. So your opponent will know you're trying to do it. But there is a potentially game-winning little move.
I don't
you can
get.
Stop
is
an
this
enemy
a
unit
squad,
from
or is this just a combination of
make them
different
use
units?
Command point when they don't want to.
Just to do something they would normally do for free, right?
They normally do. That's anything that you can force your opponent to have to use resource they don't want to.
It feels like a really thematic use of
Mortian,
right? He's the sort of the master of the Bone Tithe. He's the one who tallies it all, and here he is, sort of bringing that into the battlefield. There are only two things in life that are completely inevitable: is death and taxes, and this box is both of them. Speaking of death, this is the death battle.
Can we fast forward?
Bone Reapers. It contains everything you would expect to find in a battle tank.
Do you want to
brilliant lore
fast
about
forward
the
to the next thing?
Who they are and how they fight, as well as all of the rules for everything that we've talked about. They've got a really interesting rule available to the army, which is relentless discipline.
Give me Custodes.
Very briefly, but there's like a new little widget attached, the profile circle that you get. And the heroes essentially get relentless discipline points, which they can spend. So
what's relentless discipline?
Liege Mortek, this little guy here, gets 5, Nagash gets 10, and they can spend those throughout the game to gain some extra abilities. Really exciting.
And I feel like I need to know more about Age of Sigmar to understand what the hell they're talking about.
I got quite excited at the possibility.
There will be Custodes. They literally teased golden bananas in the advert for this. There's no way there's not going to be Custodes chat.
When you put your army together, go, how many heroes do I want?
We're going to have Custodes. It's going to be glorious. There's going to be a big army box, and I'm going to go broke getting it. That's how it works.
Someone with a systematic and kind of strategic approach.
I will riot.
If you want to get a sense of the scale of things, we've got them here, and I'll put the Liege Cavalos alongside the Liege Mortek.
We'll probably see Blood Bowl, because they did say they were going to do Blood Bowl. They'll probably do some Blood
He's
Bowl.
taller than a Stormcast.
Exactly, and then
Horus Heresy, and then they'll close out with something 40k related, because they always like to close out with 40k.
Both of these have got quite a lot of options and bits on them as well, so if you build either
Is it just going to be plastic versions of the resin kits? Yeah, probably.
Customize a little bit and choose whether you want
the
to
real
go
thing
sphere or
I
sword
want
or
to
which of the
know,
various headdresses and things.
And I think you could probably do some quite interesting things in terms of converting across these two models as
Sure
well.
we
If you wanted
could,
multiples
the
of
real
either.
thing I want to
All the bones
know
in a big
Kit
pile and
bashing,
building his own thing, right? You too.
is
could be
whether
the
or
Lord
not
of Death.
those new
Perfect.
Custodes,
Right,
when they come out...
That is not it for the Mortal Realm server. We have another battle tome
Oh,
to show
what?
you that is coming out fairly soon. This is the Chaos Battle Tome, Disciples of Tzeentch.
Okay,
And,
I mean...
as you might expect, it contains everything you need to know about
This
the
could be kind of cool.
followers of the Changer of Ways and all of his armies that are at his disposal. And it's not just a book that's coming out. We are also accompanying it with a new miniature, which is the Fate Master.
Oh, he
Lee,
looks
what can you tell us
cool.
about this?
Yeah, so Fate Master is the general of the mortal armies of Tzeentch. Of course, they are a wizard because almost everybody who follows Tzeentch
I
in
like-
some way
I
or shape
like-
will form a
Yeah,
wizard.
no, that's
But
really cool.
primarily, they
I
are
like
using
how
things
his
like your cleric
helmet
acolytes
looks
and
a
things
little
like that
bit
in
like
battle.
the icon of
Because this is
Tzeentch.
a Tzeentchian general, they don't really play fair.
You know
so
what I
lots of their
mean?
tricks and things that they bring to the battlefield are less about winning in a straight fight and
Like
more
the
about
way,
deceiving your
oh,
opponent.
he has a
So
little butt.
you can
Wait,
use
is
some
that-
of their
is
abilities
that
to
a-
move your own units around the battlefield when the enemy
I like
comes within
his-
range
his
to try and
weird
charge
snake
your units. All
bird.
of a sudden, they're not there anymore. They're actually on the flank, and
I
you
like
can engineer
that.
some very
I want to
advantageous
pet it.
combats. So they are a great little unit. They are still a Chaos Lord, and they still fight in combat very.
That's
effectively,
really cool,
but
though.
it's
That's a
the
really
tricks
cool
and the
model.
strategic positioning stuff they bring to your army that makes them really
Like,
pop in
it's
your
very aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a new terrain piece for these, which is just fantastic. This is the thing I'm most excited about.
Oh!
Disciples of Tzeentch. These are the Argent Shards. Just fantastic embodiment of like the weirdness of Tzeentch, right? When you look at these and
You know
sort of
what?
the
Yeah,
magic
no, I
swirling
agree.
around them. There's a
That's
a story
super
being told by this
cool.
model, which is
Never gonna
borne out
use
by the
it.
rules and
Never
the
gonna
lore.
buy it,
Essentially, you see
probably.
the one on the left on
But
the
that
screen
looks super
being
cool.
torn apart. These drift around the battlefield. They're really useful. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But if one is destroyed, if you don't get them both, the other one will split and essentially make a new one. And so that you see it splitting apart. That's really part of its own story. It's just great.
Yeah,
Excited
they've
about some
got,
rocks. But hey,
two
they're
abilities,
cool-looking
effectively. One
rocks.
of them
Don't make
is
fun
that,
of me.
If one of them
They are cool-looking rocks, okay? Look at how that one like splits in half, and you see it's full of flesh on the inside. Oh, that looks like a nightmare to paint,
Your
though.
wizards can use them to channel their magic through. So
That looks like a
if you're
nightmare
close
to
one of
paint.
these and you're a Tzeentchian wizard, and you've probably got loads of Tzeentchian wizards if you've got a Tzeentch army, because that's kind of the whole army. You can use these to cast your spells further than you otherwise could. And if you're
Even the
playing
little
against
plume
them,
on the
you
bottom
can't
looks
get
like
rid
the
them
icon of
unless you
Tzeentch.
kill both of them at the same time. We've got them on the table here, so you get a sense of the
Oh, they're
scale. So again, this is
huge.
a fairly large infantry model that's like larger than the Stormcast Eternal there. So they're fairly big pieces of terrain, and they go back to that kind of classic Tzeentchian idea of the Silver Towers of Tzeentch, which has been part of their lore for kind of time immemorial. This is a little nod to that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see these cropping up in like any Tzeentch army.
Oh
Like
yeah, we were
conversions
talking
and
before about, you know, if you've got something like a 1,000 Suns army
Yeah.
and you're building some scenery or something.
So
you
what
can
do you think
imagine
the final
having
40K
these mixed
thing
in amongst
tonight is
them
gonna be,
so that
chat?
your battlefield look as Tzeentchian as possible.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know.
And that is not it in terms of battle
Dark
tomes,
Angels.
forthcoming for the More Realms. There is another one,
Three battle
almost
tomes.
equally magical.
Jesus
as well.
Christ.
These are, of course,
Ah.
the Order Battle Tome for the Luminous Realm Lords.
I do like high elves.
Again, everything you'd expect from a battle tome, updated with fantastic new lore and all of the rules and things you will need.
Is there gonna be a
play your
token
games.
character released
The
for
Luminous Realm
this?
Lords army rules have had a shake-up, which is quite exciting. Eddie and I were talking with the team from the Warhammer studio all about that. And we don't possibly have time to go into all of those details here today, but we'll be covering it as we get closer on warhammercommunity.com. There's also a new model for them. The Lumineth Realm Lords have been really well served with battlefield wizards, but maybe not as many sort of frontline fighting
I don't
heroes.
dislike
So this
this
is a
model.
Venari Lord
Looks kind of
creature.
cool.
Yeah, so the Lord Regent effectively leads your infantry
fuck is
phalanxes
a
into
Dreg
battle.
Lord?
They are a very competent fighter. They're an
Oh,
elven
you mean
lord,
the,
so they've got a very respectable combat stat line.
I don't like the
But real
paint job
thing
on
they
this
bring to the
face.
battle are two special rules.
I'm
in
not
terms
gonna
of your
lie.
game. One of
I
them
feel like
means
they've
that
painted
nearby
better
Lumineth
faces
units, when they
before.
rally, because they are a shining example to their people, you get to roll extra dice into that, which is really useful if you're trying to bring back your models, especially when they cost so many points for Lumineth. So every elf that joins your force is very worthwhile. The other thing they do, if you put them alongside a unit of your your wardens, which are your big kind of spear phalanx. They can basically have the phalanx advance.
It's a nice looking model
and cause a whole bunch of mortal wounds. So
I don't know if they function like high elves from Warhammer Fantasy,
so your spearmen can not only do mortal wounds when they fight, they can also just do it passively by
not upholding the Warhammer elf rules of authority. The more powerful they are, the larger they
the kit has some variants. You can
the
build
larger
it in
and
a couple
crazier
of
the hat.
ways, or mix and match between. Maybe you get some spares.
But they don't
we've got them
really
actually in
wear
the desk in front of us,
hats
if
in
you want to have a
Warhammer.
The thing that I like about the sort of the difference in is you can see this one's got like a little amphora on his back, and then this one obviously has got this sort of double banner. Very catchy.
2 back banners definitely in this season, isn't it?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Banners are back, it seems. Banners back, that's good. So there we go. Again, just a great hero for your Lumineth Realm Lords. We've got some questions. They've been flooding in through the chat.
Do my best.
Actually, the first question really hits near my heart. It says, from Prime Chatmandu, it says, do you ever get nervous when you're touching Evermore miniatures? Let me tell you, I am terrified every time I touch Evermore miniatures.
When they hand them over, they sort of scowl.
Well,
so we're not really allowed to.
Each of these represents like dozens, if not hundreds, of hours of work, right, by the best painters in the world, and they need to be treated that way. The first ever battle report I played years ago, I dropped the Hell Cannon. And I've always been nervous about it ever since.
Why is this guy poking
next
the miniatures?
Is, can I use, and it's talking about the Liege Mortec, this is from Priminus Lamp, can I use this as a MOE proxy? I think you mean Master of Executions, and I think you need to do quite a lot of conversion work to do that. But that said, doing kit bashing is half the fun of this hobby, right? I'm looking at all those Red Corsairs, just imagining stealing the heads for my armies. So, yeah, maybe. And then,
so I want the Red Corsairs. I wouldn't mind getting the... I want the Red Corsairs to turn them into Word Bearers.
Who would die first?
Ooh.
Well, I would argue that the Ossiarch Bone Reaper is already dead.
I think the Sunstealer Wheeler is faster, probably, but it's tortoise and hare, isn't it? You probably get bored about halfway through the race and stuff.
Never going to outlast
with
the
no, because the army set doesn't come with Huron, which is great.
Keeping your questions coming in.
We have 40. We started with big 40k reveals.
A very unusual place, which is
at the end, when this video is over,
Elves,
I'll go back and show everything.
So.
Cool, Blood Bowl.
Time for us to talk a little bit.
I know very little about Blood Bowl,
to approach the
but it's pretty cool.
The Caledor dragons.
Oh!
I got some things.
Dragon Princes of Caledor and Blood Bowl. That's cool as fuck. Fucking love Dragon Princes.
Around for a very long time, and now it is redone and updated in plastic for the modern era. Season 3 of Blood Bowl launched just recently.
We got a bunch of Red Corsair stuff, like a lot of Red Corsair stuff.
Anyway,
but the Red Corsair stuff is also just generic Chaos Space Marine stuff as well.
And each of them
we got marked. At the end of the video, I'll go back to the beginning and pick out some highlights.
They are essentially the show stealers of the.
If I were a Blood Bowl player,
incredibly skilled players,
I would almost certainly be playing
they have
this team.
Great rules as well. So, in addition to block, which you'd
in fact, I might be tempted just to start Blood Bowl to play these guys.
But they also have steady footing, 6+, and you don't get knocked down. So you can use that.
I always wanted Dragon Princes for my High Elf army when I was on the tabletop. But Dragon Princes of Caledor were always a very expensive model.
Which means they can never get.
They're always a very expensive unit to buy.
So the trick with this is to burst through the enemy pitch, get down the field, and then get the ball to this guy. So he doesn't have to give it away. He can just go and score a touchdown instead. Next up, we have the White Lions. The High Elf team is a little bit different to some in that it doesn't really have a catcher archetype. Instead, you've got the White Lions, which are another blitzer almost. They don't have block, but they do have wrestle, which is a very good skill to make sure that you don't get stuck with a turnover if a tackle goes weird and you both get knocked down.
If you both lie down.
Scuff of the Scuff God. Scuff of the Scuff
is not just symbolic.
Yeah.
They have the claws.
No, I don't want Scuff.
What that means is that they never need more than an 8+ to bust the armor when you're making the armor roll.
CSM, they got Christian Chaos Space Marines. That can be used for any.
Skilled positionals.
They've got
warriors.
They've got guys that are like basically in modern Mark V with like scavenged mixed armor marks. They look amazing.
Any team.
Probably my favorite miniature kit ever. Hell, you could even use them for loyalists if you wanted to. You could use them for the Imperial guys if you want to represent Firstborns.
Cloudburst gives you a real advantage.
You still think they're Christian? No, they're Chaos.
Chaos. Can't make intercept rolls against you. So
they have a pantheon of God. That's decidedly not Christian.
He's far down the field. You just one nice clean lob shot all the way down the pitch. and nobody can catch it instead. It's great.
What I love about all of these miniatures is that they look like
These
the
are pretty
Blood
cool,
Bowl
though.
incarnations of the classic
Absolutely so,
old
right?
world units. So like the Phoenix
Yes.
Guard, the White Lions, the Dragon Princes. They just like look exactly like those, but in shorts.
Yeah, exactly. So lots of like calves and thighs on display, but otherwise it is just pure Blood Bowl fun. Right, this is the 4th position. They're the High Elf linemen. In some ways, the linemen are like the boring part of your Blood Bowl team, but High Elf linemen are really good. Right, let's not beat around the bush. They've got great stat lines. They've got decent armor.
High Elves have
they've got
always
no
been a
skills
really
to speak
solid
of.
army in Warhammer Fantasy
But they're
Battle, so I'm not
reliable.
surprised that they're really
the
good in
only
Blood
downside
Bowl.
is at 65,000, I think it is, to recruit them. You don't get a massive team. You know, I started my Blood Bowl.
Why do they look like they're
Definitely
chomping
an
at
elite
bits?
finesse team,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and so you've got to get everything like acting in the way it's supposed to, and I guess you need these to do some of the heavy lifting.
I
in
would
terms
like
of
them to
maybe
bring
making
more time
tackles or
back,
throws or
though.
catches
More time
themselves.
someday.
The kit also contains, crikey, I've talked
Models
about
for
here.
American football.
It,
Yeah, Blood
also
Bowl.
contains the balls, the
It's,
turn and wheel markers and everything that you would expect.
An
for you
artifact
to, mark
called
things like.
Nuffle,
And there'll be a spike journal that comes out
believed to be a
alongside all
god,
of this,
fell
when, it
into
releases,
the
which
old
is full of all
world,
of the stories
Warhammer
and
Fantasy
the lore
Battle's
behind it
alternate
and,
universe.
information about different high elf teams and all of that good stuff.
And dice and a pitch.
And
all that
a religion was
Yeah,
formed.
I think you
where
talked a little bit about
all
how they key into
the
sort of
factions
classic
put aside their
imagery of the High Elves. I think
differences
one of the things that I really like
and
is that
decided
bleeds
to
into the rules
resolve
in a way.
all their
The Dragon Prince is
disputes
extremely arrogant.
by
Some
following the
troops
code
today,
of
and
the
the
god
White Lion,
Nuffle,
they were
which is
Monster
actually just
Hunters originally,
NFL.
right? And so,
So they all learned how to play American
You're like,
football.
exactly. You're going down troll.
And
lets them go in and bust open.
that's what Blood Bowl
Chaos
is.
Warrior
It's
Army,
American
whatever it might
football,
be.
but with
Yeah,
violence
really great.
and
Very exciting
murder.
to see these finally reach the gridiron. And there we go. That is your
That's
Blood Bowl
Blood Bowl.
section.
And
Pretty
so you
exciting,
have
coming to
it's
a
tabletop
pitch near you.
tabletop American football simulator
Next up,
with Warhammer Fantasy Battle
we have
characters.
a little bit of
Hand
an animation
egg.
clip to show
Yes.
some people.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, we have a new clip from Penitence, which is the new Warhammer 40,000 animation on its way for Warhammer Plus very soon. Here are the first 2 minutes. Of
And a
that
lot of
clip.
frustrating rules. Really, I've never actually played Blood Bowl, but I've heard it's quite fun. It's all about mitigating failure chances, since failure happens a lot. What we got? Wait, which? They said it was a clip. Oh shit!
For too long, Vision 4 has been bereft of the Emperor's light. Like so much of our benighted Imperium, it clings on. A candle flickering in darkness. Our mission is of sacred importance. The enshrinement
Novitiate?
of our fallen Canoness Rexilla. She will be a beacon, a rising call to the faithful.
For the full
She
only
will
in
mark
America, you need the
Vision
guns,
4
the
as
foot,
a
the
shrine.
baby rugby hand egg,
The Emperor's
and the
flock
tits
will
and ass.
come,
Lol.
and with them
I mean, there's lots of murder. Some
the
people have
foulness
weapons
of the orcs
in Blood
shall
Bowl.
be driven from this place. We shall risk everything for this.
Added lore that makes sense to why they do what they do.
We
Yeah, they
dare
did.
not
They
fail.
actually added Lord
For to
Nukem.
do
There's got some
this,
video game
we need to
adaptations
fall
as
short
well.
of what our Emperor demands.
The Argent
By
Shroud.
fire,
No, yeah,
by
is this
faith,
Argent Shroud?
we-
I thought these guys are these not Sacred Rose? Rip Sister Superior. Rip and piss. Man, those orcs look amazing. Holy shit. Cat Novitiate hanging on for DLA.
His test begins.
Oh, she's still alive. Yeah, boys! Wow! Yeah, no, I'm excited
Eddie,
to see
that was
that
awesome. What can you
story.
tell us about Penitent?
Yes, this is a new animation on its way for Warhammer Plus.
There's
This is
three
an
big
Adeptus
there's
Sororitas
3 big
animation
multi-part
featuring the Order
animations
of the
coming out
Sacred
here.
Rose, which is I think we haven't seen before.
You wish they made
Yeah.
the
And
Aquila
they are on
Lambda
a
in
sacred
plastic.
mission to find
I wouldn't say
found
no
and
to
win
having an
Shrine
Aquila
World. They have
Lambda
a sacred
miniature,
relic, and they have to
honestly.
get it to the Shrine World. Obviously, the mission doesn't quite go to plan, as you saw there. Their ship is intercepted by some orcs and downed, and then they have to trudge across this wasteland to get their relic to where it needs to go. The orcs in this are snakebite orcs, which is pretty cool. We haven't really seen snakebite orcs in animation
cool.
before.
I like snake bites.
Snakebites, of course, famous for bringing along gribbly squiggly beasts with them, and I can confirm there is a squig in this animation.
Nice. So we get both a cyber cherub and a squig in Penitence.
Absolutely spoiled. Yeah.
Living the dream. So when does it arrive?
So this is on its way in February. The first episode, it will be a 3-part animation with the first one landing in February, so not very long to wait at all.
Fantastic.
Cool.
So if you are not familiar with Warhammer TV, it's available through your Warhammer Plus subscription, and it gives you access to loads of animations and sort of shows that are made by the team in-house, gaming and lore and all that sort of thing. So if you want to watch this as it comes out, make sure you get yourself a subscription and join in. It's going to be great.
Exactly that.
Nice one. Right. So there were some questions in the Blood Bowl section that I got hold of late, and my favourite question was, Custodes, when? Well, I'd like to tell you when. We're going to go to all the way back to the Age of Darkness with this.
Woo! Ooh! Oh, shit. Wait, updated Custodian Guard? Oh, they look amazing. Oh my god, the grab oh my god. Oh my god, everything. Oh my god, they look amazing. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
So excited by everything that we just saw there.
I need them.
The forces of the Legio Custodes for the Horus Heresy. Everything in that video we're going to talk about. Let's start with what you can see on the screen right now.
So this is a box, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah,
it's a brand new box.
This is the Legio Custodes battle group.
I need a chat.
And this is coming out as part of the launch. Everything in this is a new
more of a display model since you want the vehicle for your acolytes. Understandable.
Two sodalities of custodians.
Thank you for the luck, Nukin. Oh my god.
And a grav tank. Let's talk about those in detail. These, of course, are the Custodian Guard Sodality. Eddie?
This is a Custodian Guard Sodality. They are the archetypal image of a Custodian. They are towering guardians, each one with a guardian spear, able to chop the enemy up in close combat and blast them apart at range. They are a brand new plastic kit. A slight readjustment, I suppose, of the proportions of the Custodians, but still very recognisably the Custodians that you know and love. The Guardians of the Emperor. And still in the Horus Heresy,
look amazing.
Successful.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't dropped the ball yet. The kit is, as I said, it was multi-part plastic. There's some options in there. You've got these high-helmed, high-plumed helmets that you can see here. There's some bear heads in the kits that you can build your models, whether they're willing to risk getting shot in the face or not. That's your choice. And then there's option for the Vexilla in there, so you can carry proud standard of Imperial.
That looks
rule.
so. They look. Every single one of these looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of stabbing daggers that the Custodians have.
They're just dripping in all the paraphernalia and apparel that you'd expect from the Emperor's most elite warriors.
Hey, fam sturdies. They're a thing now.
Heads that are available to the kit. So you can do a mixture or all of one style, whatever it is.
Yeah, they got new Contemptor.
You've already said it, but for me, this is the quintessential image of the Legio Custodes, right? These like serried ranks of sort of spear-wielding, golden armoured warriors. I love it. They're not the only sodality in the Custodes Battle Group box set, though. You also have the Sentinel Guard, who are essentially the same kind of unit, but these are equipped with Presidium shields and Custodian warblades.
Yeah, so another effectively battle line unit of Custodians. A normal Custodian, such a word can be used to describe the Custodians. These ones are a little bit more defensive and a little bit less killy, but every Custodian is a master of death and very, very durable. These ones have shields, which in your games...
These all look amazing. I'm so hyped.
Shield wall special rules and make them a bit more durable against incoming fire, which is really cool.
This will confirm a fandom sweat. I feel like it won't. I feel like people make way more of a fuss over it than... I don't know. I personally don't mind.
Of course, there was more in that.
Because, like, when you think about it, Custodes were kind of just not really used in the lore for about till like what, like 5-10 years ago at most, at least.
So good. It comes with a couple of options here. You can see the helmeted head and the unhelmeted head. I really like that golden laurel wreath that has been sort of woven into her hair.
That face looks like a mini emperor, don't you think?
Know about Custodian shield captains, these are essentially a top tier fighter on the battlefront. they can go up against anything up to and probably including the first captains of the Space Marine Legions. If you're not a Primarch, it is not a pushover, and even if you are, be careful.
Yeah, a shield captain backed up by a squad of custodians can happily take on a Primarch level character, and up against anything that's a Space Marine, unless you've got a very, very impressive sword of some sort, you're definitely going to come out on the wrong side of that fight. The miniature is absolutely
so good.
dripping
It's
in
so
detail. I think
it's
one of the
so
things you
good
just see in that
though.
rotating image there is the text on the inside of the shield.
We got quite excited about
Yeah,
that
Holy
earlier on in the
shit.
One of the concepts of custodians generally is that they write their honor name inside their armor, and the idea here being that the titles that this warrior has achieved throughout their career has been so extensive that the achievements have gone beyond their armor and onto the shield itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool as
really
fuck.
fantastic model, and I wonder if
Personally, I'm indifferent, but they still look good. You know what I care about? Cool stories, cool lore. I'm sure some people will have a fuss. Fucking dreadnoughts, though.
There's two variants. You can
Defenders
choose which one you're going to
tend
build.
to be so fucking obnoxious
the first
and
of which
smarmy,
is
which
the
is
Contemptor Achilles
symptomatic.
Dreadnought. It is equipped with an Achilles War Spear, which is like the length of 3 men.
It's just a giant guardian spear,
Yeah,
basically, isn't
absolutely.
it?
It's
if you get
so
put inside a dreadnought
cool.
and you've been a custodian, you're like, I really like stabbing people with a spear. Can I continue to do that? And the answer was a firm yes.
Yeah, and it's phenomenally dangerous.
I can't wait to get this. This is
so vehicles are in real trouble.
So
for
basically,
me, this is my favourite of the two.
Yeah.
I'll show you the other one in a second.
It's so good.
But look at the pose that you've got on it. This kit is really poseable. They've made the most of the sort of multi-part plastic functionality that this kit enables.
it's so good, chat.
Yeah, the.
I hope they
Contemptor
don't
Dreadnoughts,
stop
all of
me
the
from
Dreadnoughts,
using
particularly
this
the
stuff in
custodian ones,
40k.
have been available in resin before, obviously,
Yep.
and they've always been kind of highly poseable. None of that posability has been lost in the transition to plastic, and actually, it's now an even
It's
easier
so
material
good.
to
I
work
can't
with,
wait. I
and
can't
you've
wait
got
to get
more
these.
options and ways of building. So you could include half a dozen of these dreadnoughts in your army if you wanted to, and every single one of them could look completely unique and different in terms of posing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at the other one that's in. So this is the Contemptor Galatus Dreadnought. Again,
I think this one's my favourite. I think he looks absolutely awesome. There's something
I do
about
like the
Dreadnought with a
Galatus as
massive
well.
shield
I'm
and
going to need to
massive
get
sword,
2 of these,
that just
chat.
absolutely works for me.
I need to have
And
one
it
of
mirrors
each
the two different
configuration.
core unit types within the custodians,
Exactly
right?
so.
You've
Though
got one with
I
the
think
spear,
I'm more
the
partial to the
aggressive one. You've got
spear.
one with the shield and the sword, the more defensive one.
looks so cool,
if
though.
you wanted to, you could pair them up.
It
right?
looks
You could have the shield on one
amazing.
end,
It'd be
your
kinda
shield
cool, wouldn't
custodies and your spear one go alongside the warriors that they fought with.
You're going to make
in
them all
life.
women.
Yeah, the
I don't think
Contemptor
you can.
Galatus,
I think
has the
they have
Galatus,
very distinct
Warblade.
body
That is
shapes
just
to
gonna cut through,
differentiate
like, medium
genders.
and heavy infantry like nothing.
I think.
I think to bear in mind about these is every dreadnought is piloted by like a fallen warrior, right? That is entombed within the sarcophagus. Just bear in mind that the warrior that is
Man,
piloting this
I'm
was
looking
a
at the
custodian, absolute
YouTube
fighting
chat
elite
for
of the
this.
Imperium, handpicked
There's
and
so many
created by the
people
Emperor.
just fucking.
These are really, really
being
dangerous on the
shit.
tabletop. In addition to all of that armor, they're phenomenally skilled warriors still.
Yeah,
It's not even like
they can wade
reasoning.
into
They're just
whole
like,
phalanxes
no, I
of,
don't want
enemy
women in
space marines and chop
Warhammer.
and
Like,
tips.
it's really
They're
like.
very satisfying. They look great though.
It's really
The
sad.
final thing that's inside that custodian battle group box is this. This is the Caladius Annihilator Grav Tank.
fucking Caladius
We'll
Grav
talk more
Tank,
about other Grav
though.
tanks in a minute, but essentially,
It's so
think of this as
good.
a main battle tank. For
I
the
don't give a
Legion
shit about
Custodians
any of the
force.
politics. I just want cool
It
models.
is equipped with
And I'm
an
so
Arrakis
hyped for these
Blade
models,
Blaze
chat.
Carronade, which is the sort of double barrel.
So
weapon
hyped
you
for these
see on top.
models.
This is a devastating ranged weapon with 2 fire modes. The first of which is anti-tank. You're thinking 2 shots at strength 10, just blasting vehicles
Bane.
apart. Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then its alternate fire mode is multi-shot and is great at gunning down heavier infantry.
Yeah.
So I think that we were talking about
I
before.
can't
and
wait.
I think you
I
made a
can't
really good
wait to
point
get
of
to play with
was,
these, chat.
Stuff in the Legion Custodes force needs to often do 2 things. to
Yeah,
survive.
because you're almost always outnumbered,
Yeah.
both in terms of how big your units are, but also in terms of how many units you have on the battlefield. So it's not enough that you've got a unit that's very good at killing tanks. It might also need to do some double duty to, pitch into the battle against enemy heavy infantry or support your units, whichever thing is currently giving you challenges. So most units in the Custodian army are quite good at several things.
Yeah, absolutely so. Those are the units that make up the Custodian Guard battle group that we've shown at the start. There are more units coming along the way.
Yeah,
also,
that'll be the
plastic.
first thing you can buy. That'll
Absolutely.
be if you want to go all in for a new Custodian army, that'll be the first thing. But your reinforcements are hot on their heels.
Exactly so. So next is the Caladius Grav Tank. It is very similar to the Caladius Annihilator Grav Tank. It's just not an Annihilator. Instead, it has an Iliastus accelerator cannon on its roof. Think Sikaran battle tank from the Space Marine Legions, if you know the setting and you know the war gear, is similar but upgunned version of that kind of
I can't
weapon.
wait. I can't wait to get
So
these new
decent fire rate,
Custodies.
Gonna maul
say the vitriol
medium and light
is
vehicles
some
and
justified
pretty
at
much
this
any
point.
infantry you put in front of it.
But you can also
It's
see
a big,
defenders being
heavy-duty
more
tank.
smart.
Yeah, it's another
It's
great
all-
option for a line
I
battle
just-
tank.
I
You
just
won't
want
get many
good
tanks
games
in
and
a Custodian army just
models.
because everything costs so many points. But there's certainly a place
Cool
for one of
models.
each of these in a 3,000.
That's what
point
I'm
force.
excited about.
Absolutely. Sticking on the theme of
The rest can just
the
like
grav tanks,
people are
we
going to have
the
problems
biggest
either
of all of
way,
them,
right?
which is the Coronis grav carrier. This
Oh, that's
thing
a
is enormous.
transport,
We've got one on the desk in
right?
front of us. We'll show you in a minute. But essentially, this is big enough that it can carry an entire sodality of Custodian Guard and an accompanying hero.
Yeah, you get a kind of a sense of how big it is there because you can see the Custodians next to it. Remember that those are Terminator-sized miniatures, so this is a big old tank.
It really is. It's not unarmed
Does
as
the
well. You
internet
can see the
fandoms thrive
guns
off
on it,
performance?
but the
Yeah,
one
they
to talk about
do.
maybe
They
is the
do.
Neutronium Cascade Projector.
It's why I don't care
We'll
for
tell
it.
you more about
I
that
just
another time,
like.
but
That's why I
essentially
don't do
it's a powerful gun in
politics.
its own right. So in
I don't
addition to
like
destroying
how
the most elite fighting units in the
It's hard to
galaxy onto
avoid,
the tabletop,
though.
it's also hosing
It's
you
hard
with
to
devastating
avoid.
firepower.
And
It's
all
so
of these are plastic as well.
smooth.
This is
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
huge plastic kit.
It's so
Additionally,
smooth,
you might have
chat.
seen in the video that we
Look
saw
at these
before, you
curves.
have the Venetari sodality. So these are
These are
elite
exciting.
hunter-killer strike troops
These
within
look
the
great.
Legio Custodes, borne aloft on these sort of gold wings, on contrails of fire, diving deep into the heart of the enemy.
Yes, this is your kind of rapid strike, fast attack choice for the Legio Custodes. You've got a couple of options there. You've got the spear, or you've got the buckler and pistol. Both of those are very lethal. They also all come as standard with Misericordia and effectively like ancient grenades from a bygone era that are more powerful than even things like the melter bombs of the.
I hope they don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
the System of
these are
Silence
some
too.
things
System of
they decide
Silence
to.
need new models.
The kinetic destroyers, which is the sort of handgun-looking thing you
Dabagoo.
can see, is a really
I'm so
powerful
excited
hand
for these
cannon,
guys as
basically.
well.
The Tarsus buckler reduces the strength of incoming enemy fire, or if you equip them with the Veritum lance, say that fast, really great on the charge. So options a go-go for you to get
Just
the
in
most out of
case
these.
your Custodians weren't scary enough, now they're faster than everyone as well, and there's no escape.
You can see here the front.
They
I
don't
believe
look
that is
too
the
different from
Neutronium
Custodian. They look like
Cascade
sci-fi.
Mine.
They look like
delivering
sci-fi.
fun into
You
the
know, the
heart of the enemy.
Stormcast Eternals.
All
with
of this
the
stuff
things,
and
with the
where you
wings.
find
They look like sci-fi versions of that.
exists in the Custodes Liber, which we'll show you here. There you go. It's a big book. It's hardback. It's lovely. It's full of all the lore and the stories and information that you need to learn about the Legio Custodes. Oh, I nearly Adeptus them. And in addition to that, it talks about other elements of the Imperial household. So.
Yep, so you've got the Anathema Psychana, the Sisters of Silence, and you've also got the Assassinorum.
Yeah.
So you've got all the various tools of the Imperial household, the stuff that the Emperor kept to himself on Terra as his personal army. All very, very powerful forces in their own right.
Yeah, perfect. So we've got the models in front of us. It'd be fun to do a little bit of show and tell. First of all, we
These
have a
look
little
so
stunt
great,
guy
though.
in the front.
I'm so
Heresy
hyped.
Bob for scale here.
Oh my god, they've got all of them.
Solo Auxilia, and let's just stand him alongside the shield captain for context and scale.
Oh Jesus Christ, they're
Give you
tiny.
a nice close in a second, guys, just so you get a sense
The
of how
people
big
are
they
tiny.
Slide him back. Oh, so nervous touching these and don't want to script
Break it, don't break it.
Tell me about it. So the Custodian Guard are big, right? These are the pinnacle of
They are
the,
bigger than
gene
Space
crafting that the
Marines by a
Emperor
long
does when he's
way.
creating his
Holy
elite
shit.
warriors. The only thing better, I suppose, is the Primarchs. And these didn't go wrong.
And
so-
half of them went bad, really.
Yeah, right,
So, I mean,
so-
maybe they're the best they got.
I don't think
and
they'll
then you
be
can see
too
the
big
scale
for
of the other
Primaris
thing.
Sanguinary
So
Guard, but they'll look a bit
put the little guy up
oversized.
alongside the grav
I can see a lot of
carrier.
people
It's just
buying
enormous. This
buying
thing is
spare
huge.
bits
If
or
I
bits
spin it
box
round,
sellers selling
you
them.
can see the entrance hatch.
It's like bigger than your hand, Adam. It's,
Yeah.
it's a big old thing.
So it's got this really cool entrance hatch. I was looking at some frames and that's detailed on the inside. So I think if you're one of these modelists who likes to do this sort of thing, you might be able to like have it open or make a diorama or whatever it is you want.
It does open. I can see the hinge.
Yeah. So I think people are going to have a lot of fun with this.
I can see the hinge.
The size of the thing.
It's really cool, isn't it?
It's like a Land Raider.
What else is there to say on these? We should talk a little bit about the dreadnoughts. If you look at the sort of the chest armor on them, if I tilt them, you
Yeah,
might
so
be able to
there's a
see.
few different options on there, actually. I was looking at the kits before. You've got options
I really like
for
the
things
Solar
like the shoulder
Auxilia.
pads.
I think
So
they
if
look
you've got
great.
multiple dreadnoughts, you can have slightly different shoulder pads. There's some nice little areas for heraldry. So these ones have got some heraldic devices designed onto them. There's some different faces, I think, in the kit.
Hey.
You've got some different chests.
Is
You've
that
got
a
some different
Bulbasaur?
weapons.
Is that a
You've got loads of
Bulbasaur
ways of
butt
making these really different.
emote?
There's loads of detail on them, so
That's
but
hilarious.
a lot of it's kind
Put
of
that emote
sculpted
again. I
on,
wanna
so
do
you can
PP
paint
uppies
them
with
very
it.
quickly if you wanted to. If you want to, like, spray them gold, put a wash on them. They look pretty great.
You're almost ready for war.
Yeah, they're kind of
point,
ready.
Yeah,
but also, if you wanted to spend hours and hours and hours and
again.
make these, the
best
model you've ever painted, they are a fine candidate for that as well. They are just really, really lovely models to put your hobby hours into and get something really nice out of it. The other thing that is worth saying about a lot of these miniatures is they will obviously have some dual purpose in Warhammer 40,000 as well.
Absolutely.
So if you have an Adeptus Custodes army, things like the Dreadnoughts obviously are already a data sheet in your force. You already have data sheets for things like Custodians with Guardian Spears and with shields.
Shield captains.
Shield captains as well. So lots of these, if you wanted to put them into your Warhammer 40,000 army, there's absolutely no reason not to.
Yeah, perfect. So we're not done with the Horus Heresy. There's still more. There's obviously a little bit for the Legiones Astartes. So first up, we have the Legion Glaive Super Heavy Tank. You were really excited.
I think this is my favourite. This is my favourite Super Heavy, and I think it's mostly because I just love
monster tank.
Holy shit!
Cool looking gun, isn't it?
Intrinsically Heresy for me. And this is the largest plastic Volkite gun we have ever seen.
Holy
not
shit.
counting things like stuff on Titans that we might have seen in epic scale.
Yeah, in tiddly tiny scale.
But it is an absolutely
They did say you can use them in 40k. I mean, they've already got data sheets for 40k.
It's the same chassis, but this has, I think, a cooler looking gun. Although I know you're a big fan of.
So Feldblade is the one for me, but I can't deny the coolness of this. The panning shots that you're getting right now really just show.
Those las cannons. Those are the same las cannons on the Spartan assault tank.
So close to the model, and it just looks just crisp and brilliant and exciting.
This one, of course, painted in Iron Warriors colours.
Yes, well,
it also looks equally good in the other 17 available.
Yeah, I would think so. Better maybe in the colours first, I think. But, who am I to judge? It is a Volkite carronade, if you're wondering. It's just an enormous gun that will deflagrate your enemy should you so desire.
Great special rule.
It's not the only Astartes tank available. There is also the return of a stalwart of the Legiones Astartes, and indeed the Space
I fucking love the Scorpius Whirlwind.
With the Whirlwind missile tank.
There's something just kind of lovable about the Whirlwinds. This is
a change in the scale and magnitude here, isn't it?
It's got a very useful little artillery
It's
piece,
just a little guy after that. It's just a little guy.
This is a long-range artillery support piece that can
I love the
reach
Whirlwind.
enemy units where most of your things can't get to them. Lots of the different missiles you can give it have morale sapping effects, basically.
Yeah,
so it's a debuffing
if you put,
piece
so
of artillery.
it comes with high explosive standard. You upgrade those missiles to Pyrax if you want, at which point you can literally just drive people off of objectives by causing panic.
I know,
Fantastic
right?
for shifting
it looks
hard
great.
to move. When normally you're trying to kill
That's a good yellow.
of models to claim objectives.
That is a good yellow.
Whereas
If they make them walk off it, then you can just
give it to you.
I love
we
all
were
the
talking before,
orange
this is
and
obviously
brownish
painted up in
kind
the
of
colours of the
shading.
Imperial Fists. We thought it was
I was
going to
do indie game reviews tonight, but I don't know that I'm going to be able
to get into
to.
close combat.
You can imagine how that went. It's like, my Lord Dawn, I'm now a Templar brother, and I'm itching to serve. And he's like, sit in this at the back, please.
Maybe a punishment, perhaps.
Maybe he just likes Sigismund too much. Who knows? It is fantastic, and we're very excited for it. Where will you find all the information you need for these? Well, thankfully, there is a new Journal Tactica on the horizon. It's called Mailed Fist, and it details the Legiones Astartes super heavy tanks. Lots of lore, organisation charts, and information on how they were fielded, the operations that they fulfilled, that sort of thing, as well as some rules, including the rules for the returning Whirlwind.
Absolutely. And those of you with eagle eyes may have spotted there is one Ultramarine in this preview.
Ultramarine fans,
we are contractually obligated to include at least one Ultramarine Space Marine in every preview, and you can see him there about to be crushed under the uncompromising wheels of the Iron Warrior.
He has no wheels. Those are treads.
Perfect. So, that was great. Loads of stuff for the Horus Heresy. I'm going to quickly dive into the questions and see where we are at.
I mean, maybe.
Right, so we've got...
It's coming up to 9 o'clock.
Will be playable in Warhammer 40,000. That's from Blood of Dead. Well, you've covered that one already.
I think we've sort of covered that one.
Loads of those models will be. And it's really worth saying again, if it's got a analogous unit in Warhammer 40,000, by all means use it. If it suits you, that would be great. Will we ever see more Sisters of Silence? And the answer to that is they have rules, and all of their lore and stuff is contained within that Liber Custodes, so you can continue to field them. I hope one day we'll get more cool models for them as well.
There's no new Sisters of Silence in this particular wave of releases.
But they are very much catered for.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason that we wouldn't in the future, and they absolutely feature in
Wheels
the
under the
rules,
dress, I suppose.
And the question is, can you tell us how many heads there were? I probably could have done, but I've forgotten because it's been quite a long preview. I think
how many
get,
heads?
how many bear heads? I think you get enough to do all of the models helmeted?
I think you
or
do, yeah.
bareheaded?
So if you want an entire squad in helmets, you can do it that way. If you want an entire squad in bare heads, you can do it that way as well, I think.
Perfect. But don't make your buying decision based on what I said right now, because I might be wrong.
I had a question earlier on that I actually got wrong.
Ooh,
I
go
just wanted
on.
to revisit. So somebody asked if the Corsair unit was able to join, Huron's bodyguard was able to join another unit. I said it wasn't. It is, in fact, able to join
Nice.
another unit. So
Perfect.
Oh, that's going to be a really
and
big,
the last question, this
big,
is from
big unit.
Love George, and the question is, in relation to the tank, is this plastic? Everything we've shown in this entire preview is in plastic. So I don't know which tank you meant, but the answer is yes. The Coronis grav carrier, both the tanks, the
God,
super heavy, all
that
of it,
grav carrier is very
it's plastic
cool.
all
do
the
you
way
want to just
along.
get a shot of the
Oh,
grab
yeah.
carrier next to...
The scale of the thing is
Yeah.
quite fun, isn't it? So try not to scrape the metalwork against each other. So I'm going to put them so they're sort of end to end. You can get a sense of how big they are if we get the camera on those. It is very nearly super heavy size.
It's really not far off. It's certainly not quite as bulky, perhaps.
I
as
think
the
they might
Space
travel
Marines.
in more.
I like
comfort
that.
than
They
the,
definitely
Femboy
do.
Custodes
More
might be
space
nice too.
inside there,
Lol.
perhaps.
Fantastic.
But it's a big old tank, certainly.
I feel like their gender is
Right.
war.
There we go. We
Or
are
the
not
will of the
quite
Emperor.
done yet. We did promise you that we would return to the grim darkness of the far future, and here we are with a little teaser.
A teaser. Oh, what is that? What is that? What was that?
Well,
what
that
was
a teaser, wasn't
that?
So that could mean almost anything.
It could. All we
mean
know is that
almost
the reign of iron approaches, and some of you may have been able to form your own opinions on things that maybe were being hinted at with hazard stripes and sort of burnished silver armor. Who knows? If you want to have a look at those images again, hop over to warhammercommunity.com. There'll be an article
What
appearing there. If
was
it's not already there, it'll
that?
be very soon, and you can maybe glean a few more bits of information. That brings us.
I mean, definitely
to the end
Iron
of our preview.
Warriors.
If you've enjoyed this and you want more Warhammer for tonight, over in the US at Palm Springs right now, there is a Warhammer Open event taking
You
place.
guys,
where there's
you guys
fantastic
had a
things
little
of Warhammer being played
Raven Wing
all
badge on the
weekend.
thing.
As
Where's
soon
my
as we're done
Raven
here,
Wing?
We're going to throw back to the team out
Where's
there
my
who will be
Raven
commentating
Wing?
on fantastic games
You
of Warhammer
teased
40,000,
Raven Wing
I
in the
believe. So
announcement.
Jump on board and have a look at
You
what's going on
teased
there.
Raven
By all
Wing. Give me
means,
my Raven Wing.
Really, what remains, I guess, is to say thanks to everybody who's made this work. We've got a team of people who've operated all the cameras and all the streaming equipment and covered off your questions. Thank you to all of you.
Where's the
Eddie,
Raven
thank you for keeping me
Wing?
company and
Oh,
making
it's
this work.
quite all right, Adam. I didn't have plans tonight otherwise, so
Perfect.
it's been fun. It's been fun.
And the most important people to thank all of you who've chosen
Where
to
are
spend
my
a little bit
Raven
of time being
Wings?
as excited about Warhammer as we are and joining in on this preview. It has been a delight. We'll be back in a couple of months with the next preview, I think.
I think we're planning to do something from Adepticon in
Very
March.
excited about that. So until then,
Where's my
thank you all
Raven
so much
Wing?
for joining us. This has been a delight, and we will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
Aww! They teased Raven Wing! They teased Raven Wing in the announcement. They teased Raven Wing in the announcement. They teased Raven Wing in the announcement. They could do something in the end. They have done stuff right at the end before. They have. Where's my Raven Wing? You bastards! They forgot about the Raven Wing. Bruh. 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 Oh, you dickheads. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. You're at full mast, lol. Okay, let me just fast forward a little bit. Okay. We wanted to show, you wanted to see the beginning stuff.
To make sure
Of course, that Huron.
Okay.
there is a lot. We've already told people what we're going to show. We've already done the introductions. People know how to ask questions. I think it might be time
think it
to
might
go
be time to
to
start.
our first
Okay.
how to ask questions. I think it might be time.
I
to
wish
go
I
to
could,
our
like,
first reveal.
navigate
Let's
this a
go
little bit
to the grim darkness
faster.
of the
Like,
dark
more
millennium.
differently. But yeah, Aeon, you missed this right at the start. Some really nice models here. Really nice models. Like, hang on, let me just try and go back a smidge. Let me just go back a smidge.
Generally,
Don't ask
not just
mad
like, you know.
we reckon we'll be here probably for the next.
We've seen them. Captain Sargotta. She's amazing. I love her miniature. She looks fantastic. Probably never gonna see play for me. I don't dislike either of these two. I don't dislike these two, but she is like so cool. The Enforcer. I really like the Sorcerer again. Hey Andy, how you doing? I really like the Sorcerer. Really, really like the Sorcerer. And I can't remember what this alien dude was called. Taraxi? Is that what people were saying in chat? But yeah, that looks really cool. Oh yeah. There's a new. Look at these. Look at these Mark V. Not quite Mark V, but this is a Heresy style armor. Is it not? Heresy style armor with the mixed armor marks. Heresy style armor. It's so cool. You'll convert the captain to the guard. I like that idea, honestly. I'd probably convert her to like something. Also, look at this guy. Why has he got a Tyranid chitin plate stuck to his head? I never noticed that before. I'm gonna use these just as regular Space Marines. I love this mixed armor mark look. I love it so much, chat. You've got guys with mixed Mark 4 and Mark 6 and Mark 3. And little bits of Mark 8 in there as well. Not Mark 8, Mark 7. It's such a good look. These guys are going to be all up in my all in my word bearers. I mean, they're just Terminators with some extra shoulder pads. The Eldar as well. Look at this Psyker. I can't remember his name, but he looks amazing. The Eldar, the Eldar Corsairs look fantastic. Look at this. Prince Iriel, fucking love that. Gas mask fart helmet. It does look like a butt, actually. It looks like a butt. It looks like a butt. I quite like the Starfang, which can also be built as a Viper. I quite like that. Also, this guy. New character unit for Chaos Space Marines. New generic character called a Raid Captain or something like that. Also, army set. I'm going to pick this up and not have any of it be Red Corsairs. It's all going to become Word Bearers. Reeve Captain. Reeve Captain. Reeve Captain looks amazing. I love his mace, by the way.
Eddie, how do we even start with this?
This is
Flayers.
A fairly sizable release for Warhammer 40,000, and two armies
Make a cool fuck skimmer.
Of new plastic
that's
miniatures.
useful.
Flyers, Space Marines, and the forces of the Eldari.
I like this Sorcerer again. I think the best models here. I think the best models for me. I don't think Huron looks that good either, but the best models in Huron's command squad is the Sorcerer and the Human Captain. Those are my two favorites. The rest is just kind of like, I like the Alien, but like I'm never going to use it. The rest, these three can just be like whatever, as far as I'm concerned.
This is Huron Blackheart.
Fast forward a little bit.
Little demonic. The fourth Quadrant Rebellion in the.
God, I love how he's still alive. He's got his legs blown off, and he's just like, right, I'm going to take your gene seed.
Place.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, exactly so.
So some fun stuff about how he plays.
I like him.
Obviously, is at half strength.
With your, and he just looks at the Red Corsairs, and he is known.
Look at this Sorcerer. It's such a classic Sorcerer. That helmet. It's so good. I wish I could navigate more.
Crews of like
I know flyers.
And, like firing salvos.
I misread.
Supposedly friendly ships, and he's kind of like Huron.
You can hear him laughing.
And manipulates.
Well, yes.
Yeah, and long lineage and dinner.
Look at her. Look at her, chat. She's not amazing. Look at her peg leg. She's amazing. She's such a cool model. I love her so much. I want to do a meme where like Latara Sarin is just saying you're just a cheap knockoff, and then she's just like signature look of superiority because she looks so much better than Latara Sarin's model. Look at her. She looks amazing, Chad, don't you think?
The biggest battle cruisers in Huron's fleet, where
holy shit,
oversees.
I like the little birds. Space Marines. He is the master of this enormous pirate.
This guy's cool as well, but I don't care enough.
Here being
losing in terms of power and height.
Look at these raiders,
models in it. Regime.
A really useful little unit. They have infiltrate. They have 3 wounds each.
Look at these guys. Look at this sergeant guy. He looks so cool. You know the best thing about this? My favorite thing about this set of models in particular. They don't look super chaosy. Like, you could use these as like Stern Guard veterans and probably get away with it. You could probably get away with calling these, with giving them the right weapons and calling them Stern Guard veterans, don't you think? They look big. I'm not imagining that, am I? They do genuinely look kind of big.
They have a really respectable combat outline.
I like this helmet.
And they've also
this
got
helmet in particular, really nice.
You can put into the unit. So a really useful all-round unit.
Yeah, and they're not just great in terms of game rules, but also the models are fantastic, right? This is the personification of what it means to be a renegade Chaos Space Marine. You're existing outside of the structures of the,
Wait, is that his hair? That's his hair. Oh my god.
These mighty Space Marine legions. So a lot of their war gear looks scavenged, and their plate armor and so on is sort of cobbled together. They've got lots of trappings on them.
No, there's not really. The thing is, they don't really have any chaos bits on them. They don't really have any chaos bits. They've got trophies from things they've killed. Hey, Katajan, how you doing?
There's more within this box.
I love these guys. I love these guys so much. I don't care about these Terminators.
Up in some of the
from the other.
I like Legionaries. Legionaries are cool.
Looking to build a big red Corsair.
Don't care about that.
So bringing up the rear is actually
this guy. Look at this fucking smirk. But this guy here. Look at how amazing. This is such a good model. This is such a good model, chat.
My favourite model out of this launch. I think the Reeve Captain really just hits home on what it means to be a renegade Chaos Space Marine.
The head on the left is mewing.
He's a multi-part kit, but the one right in the centre is the one that really gets me.
Fucking looks maxing face here.
He's picked up bits and pieces from lots of battles, and he just looks incredible. And he's quite good in the game, right?
Yeah, so there's loads of options on the kit to start with. So this is a multi-part plastic kit. You've got a choice of 2 different combat weapons. They've got different stats in the game. You've got a sword and you've got a mace.
I love how you've got like different front trophy pistols on him as well.
He is a very good addition to your army. He is a Reeve Captain.
I really like this mace.
Maybe a veteran of the Astral Claws, maybe one of the previous captains, or maybe someone who's risen through the ranks of the Red Corsairs since. So he is somewhere thereabouts of Chaos Lord level in terms of his abilities. He is a little bit less fighty than a Chaos Lord, but he brings more to the table in terms of abilities that you can give to your unit. He has Infiltrate, which means that he's a great addition to in charge, so they stack really nicely with those.
Such a cool model.
You can get an existing.
He is the savior.
These guys are pretty cool. I quite like the Corsair stuff. It doesn't stand out as much to me though, but I'm not really an Eldar person. I wouldn't say no to picking this up, but it's not the top of my priority list.
From the Hive fleets of the
He's so happy. He's just a happy little guy.
Solidified
it's the color scheme.
Place in legend. But the thing he
Well, for
loves
these
is to,
guys.
range
No,
across
I like the
galaxy,
colours.
weaving,
It's more
and,
that, like,
at the head of
I
the
just
army of
don't
the
think-
Eldritch Raiders. This is
I
a
don't
box
think
set.
these guys are as
Everything
cool
you see on here is
as,
included within it. And we'll take you through and have a quick look at all of those things.
Like, I
First
really
out,
like
we're
these
going to the
models,
Corsair
honestly.
scopes.
Yeah, so this is a really useful little unit. For,
Red Corsairs are out there
Corsairs.
having
You can
fun.
include these in a Corsair army
Yeah.
or in a
I-
entirely Craftworld army if you want
I
to.
really like
And
I really
is a
like this model
flexible,
as well.
fast-moving unit.
There's something
You can
about
kit them out in all sorts of different ways.
these guys
They
that looks a
come
bit
as
familiar,
standard with
though.
Corsair blades
Like-
and shuriken pistols, which is a great little kind of combo to pick on little isolated enemy units.
I
But
think
you've also got
my
the option to include quite a lot of
thinking is
different
that
special
these
weapons
Sky
in the unit.
Reavers,
So if you want to make
they
them
just
anti-infantry,
remind
you've
me
got
about
shredders and
a lot
flamers.
of other
If you want to
things
make
that
them
they've
anti-tank,
made.
You can put fusion guns and stuff like that.
I
in
guess
the
they
unit.
can't be
And they've got a
too
lot of,
different from,
movement
say,
abilities. They come with scouts,
the
deep
Swooping
strike,
Hawks and
a
the
reactive move ability
Scourges.
as standard, which means they can be
Swooping
very
Hawks
hard to
version
pin down. So they've
0.8.
got a phenomenal
Kinda,
kind of
yeah.
objective game.
Yeah, they really play into that sort of hit and withdraw aspect.
Yes.
Of
I think they're
Eldritch
really
Raiders that
cool
makes them
looking,
famous.
though.
They're
They're
also
like-
a lovely callback to some very like classic Rogue Trader
Yeah,
era artwork.
they
If
just-
you're
I like
a
this guy's little
vintage like me,
bandana.
you'll recognise.
In the kit are really interchangeable.
Void Reavers,
within
they're
12,
cool.
so they can
This
see the
guy,
future. You can never
I
catch
said I
them
liked
off
him
guard sort of
before.
thing.
He looks
That's
cool.
Really
the
is.
best units in Warhammer 40,000
Iriel.
these days, so he can rough and tumble with the best of them,
Ariel's
And he's got two banners and
Ariel
banners
is
of
here
events,
to.
and he's
That's
got
how
two
you
of them.
know he's good,
It's
right?
saying
Right.
it's time to
Two
duel.
So obviously the other thing that you might have seen.
Welcome
in
back
that
to- are
video
you
and the
okay?
army shot, that we saw was this. This
Are
is
you
the
okay?
Starfang.
Oh my
It is
God.
a Eldari
Starfang's okay.
is a classic Eldari.
Again, I still think this is
vehicle,
weird.
which has been
I
around
still think
for
this gap
30
is
years or
weird.
more.
I think it's longer. Thing
Anyway,
Different thing, for example, Crucible.
themed Eldari force.
Don't care.
We absolutely. We've left
wait, I wanna.
Mortal Realms, but there's more Warhammer.
I want to
later.
re.
let's go to
Yeah,
Mortal
I hope
Realms
you're
now.
okay. Just a staring joke. Oh God, you're embarrassed when you actually fell back down the escalator. It was going. You were going up. With how many stairs you got? I mean, that just. I mean, I'm autistic. I can't really. I fucking love this little animation. It's so cute. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care about these. But yeah, there's some bony boys. There's some bony boys for Age of
For the
Sigmar
Ossiarch
for those who are so
And one of the
inclined.
Next, speaking of here, essentially Arcan.
New army set
and
for
the
them.
wizards that accompany
If you're
him.
into that.
Yes.
He's the things you can do. Need to know about the
Zinch has a new
because
character.
this is a Zinch in
Really
general,
cool looking
they haven't really
character. I
placed
really
there,
like
so lots
this.
of
I'm
their tricks and
good.
things that they bring to
Had a
the
bit of a
battlefield
long
are less
day at
about
work.
winning in a straight fight and more about
I
deceiving
said
the
I'd do
opponent.
some.
So
Today
you
we
can
were
use some of
scheduled
their
for game
abilities to
reviews because I
move
forgot this
your own
whole
units
preview
around
was
the
happening. I
battlefield
had to rush
when the
home to
enemy
get here in
comes
time.
within range to try and charge
and
your
I didn't
units,
have
all of a
time to
sudden they're
cook,
not
so I
there
ordered
anymore, they're actually on the
takeout.
flank, and you can engineer some very
Which I've
advantageous
eaten,
combats.
and I'm
So
now
they
very
are
full.
A great little unit. They are still a chaos lord.
It feels a
and they
bit
still
weird
fight in
trying
combat
to
very,
end,
effectively,
thinking I
but
might
it's
end
the
at 9
tricks
o'clock.
and
But I
the
don't know what else is
strategic
to
positioning
do,
stuff they bring to your army
really.
that makes them really pop in your games.
But yeah, no.
yeah,
I think he
absolutely.
looks cool.
And there's a new terrain piece.
Unless
The
you
terrain, I
still
think, looks really cool.
means your
but
force is very.
I like that, but I'm never going to use it. I'm never going to get it.
And we
Blood
go to
Bowl.
Anyway,
Got new
if
high
you
elves
know
for
the
Blood
Caliber
Bowl.
Dragons, you
They
might
look
know
really
what
cool.
Pollock. They have the claws special.
I especially
of the,
like the Dragon Princes.
The gridiron.
These guys
for
look
the
really
Caledor
cool.
Dragons.
Don't
Incredibly
play Blood
skilled
Bowl.
players. They
Love high elves from Fantasy
are
Battle.
like, really great. Very
Also, cool animation preview. I don't want to dwell too much on that.
This is a new animation on it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Orcs versus System of Battle.
right.
Okay, now
this
this
is-
we're just going to enjoy this whole thing in
It's just
full.
loads of animations.
Because this
and,
is,
sort of shows
the
that
new
are made by
Custodes.
in-house
The
gaming
new
and all that sort of
Custodes.
thing.
If you didn't, if you weren't
wanna
here for it,
watch
the
this
new
as it comes out, make
Custodes.
sure you
Oh
get
my
yourself a
god.
subscription and join in. It's going to be great.
Exactly
The
right.
new
Nice
Custodes.
one. Right. So there were some questions in the Blood Bowl section that I got hold of late, and my favourite question was
Wait.
just to I got hold of late. So there were some questions in the Blood Bowl section that I got hold of late, and my favourite question was Custodes when? Well, I'd like to tell you when. We're going to go to all
Hey,
the way back to the Age of
Atticus.
Darkness
New Custodes.
with this.
Andy, look at this shit. Look at this right now. Look at how glorious they are. Look at that Vexilla. Look at this armor. Woo! It's so good. The new tanks in plastic. The Venatari. All this shit was in resin before. The new dreadnoughts. Look at this. Look how the shield captain. It's so good. It's so good. I'm getting this army set. I'm getting this army set as soon as I can. Hey, Hungry, if you're in chat, can you set one aside for me?
We just saw there. We have the forces.
Am I allowed to do that?
For the Horus Heresy. Everything in that video we're going to talk about. Let's start with what you can see on the screen right now.
So this is so good.
Yeah, the brand new box.
This is the Legio Custodes battle group, and this is coming out as part of the launch. Everything in this is a new plastic miniature, and it just looks incredible. You've got 2 sodalities of custodians. You've got a dreadnought, a shield captain, and a grav tank.
Plastic tanks, plastic dreadnoughts.
Are the custodian guard sodality.
Almost all of their resin range has been ported into plastic now.
They are towering guardians.
So exciting.
Guardian spear, able to.
As I said, it was multi-part plastic. There's some options in, like serried ranks of sort of spear.
They're so good.
Every custodian is.
Next up, we have the Shield Captain. I am unapologetic. I
fucking love this model, by the way.
Custodian release.
It's so good. I
genuinely think this is incredible. The level of detail that they have captured on it is so good.
I have no idea how I'm going to paint it, though.
A couple of options here. You can see the helmeted head and the unhelmeted head. I really like that golden laurel wreath that has been sort of woven into her hair. If you don't know about Custodian Shield Captains, these are essentially a top.
The miniature is absolutely
so good.
So good.
And it's phenomenally dangerous.
The plastic dreadnought.
Big damage.
It looks so good.
Armor bane, so vehicles are in real
trouble.
So
good.
For me, this is my favourite of the 2. We'll show you
a dozen.
Handpicked and created by the Emperor.
This also looks amazing. It all looks so good.
Because of how many units you have on the battlefield, so it's not enough.
The grav tank is very exciting.
Grav carrier.
Grav carrier less so.
They also all come as standard with Misericordia and effectively like.
Where you find
like the Minotauri,
the stuff that
Captain for context.
But look at this; they're huge.
It's gonna get you a nice
look at this. This just a human there, and everyone is like almost twice his size.
Don't break it.
Tell me about it. So the Custodian Guard are big, right? These are the pinnacle of the gene crafting that the Emperor does when he's creating.
You don't have to use a bunch of Imperial agents anymore.
The only thing better, I suppose, is the Primarchs.
Female Custodians.
Half of them went bad. Maybe they're the best they got.
And then
it's not really boob plate though.
So you put the little guy up alongside the grav carrier. It's just enormous. This thing is huge. If I spin it round. You can see the entrance hatch.
It's like bigger than your hand, Adam. It's a big old thing.
So it's got this really cool entrance hatch. I was looking at some,
it's so
some
good,
frames
though.
and detail on the inside. So I think if you're one of these
force, you already have
just an enormous gun that will kill dozens.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
There's some other stuff.
It's been quite a lot. Nice. It is very. We would return to the grim darkness of the far future, and here we are with a little teaser.
I'm just going to pause it a little bit. So first of all. We're seeing a flesh metal claw, right? So I think a lot of people are going to scream, oh, it's Perturabo. And it could be. It could be Perturabo. But you know what else it could be? New Defiler. Hear me out, chat. New Defiler. Because the Defiler model is almost 30 years old, chat. And the Defiler is fucking cool. Alternatively, Mutilators, the melee variant of the Obliterators, because they don't have a model. It's almost as old. It is almost as old as I am. I was a child when it came out. That is a whirlwind. That is a whirlwind for Horus Heresy on the Deimos pattern. It's a Deimos pattern whirlwind. So we know we're getting Iron Warriors. Damn, the lack of precision in this scroll. What is that? Some kind of melter weapon? Okay, this is definitely a Defiler Claw. It looks like a Defiler Claw. We're getting some... So I'm thinking Iron Warriors upgrade kit, possibly for Kill Team. A new Demon Engine. And something else.
Well, that was a tease, wasn't it?
Something
that could
else.
Mean almost anything.
It could. All we know is that the reign of iron approaches, And some of you may have been able to form your own opinions on things that maybe were being hinted at with hazard stripes and sort of burnished silver armor, who knows? If you want to have a look at those images again, hop over to warhammercommunity.com. There'll be an article appearing there. If it's not already there, it'll be very soon. And you can maybe glean a few more bits of information. That brings us to the end of our preview. If you've enjoyed this and you want more Warhammer for tonight, over in the US at Palm Springs right now, there is a Warhammer Open event taking place where there's fantastic games of Warhammer being played all weekend. And as soon as we...
As one of the signature looks is his cables going to his skull. And that side shot didn't have anything that could be those. I reckon we're going to see an updated Defiler. I think we're going to see an updated Defiler in the future. And I think we're going to see maybe an updated Mutilator / Obliterator's dual build again. Because, let's be honest, getting the Mutilator as we are, getting the Obliterators as the two monopose models, I feel like we could get more than that. I feel like we should eventually have more than that. Because when the Obliterators came out, and they were just like... When they were just, you know, when they were just a couple of guys, it was kind of a bit like, whatever, right? Like, like when they first came out, they had a ton of customization options. Now they're just monopose, and it's just like, bruh, we could have so much more than that. We could have so much more than that, chat. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool if we could get more, you know? It'd be super, super cool if we could do more. I hope that they do more. But yeah, I don't think we're getting Purty. I don't think we're getting Purty this edition. But maybe we are. Who knows? Who knows? I didn't see Perturabo there. I didn't. But maybe next edition. Maybe next edition, like how we got Fulgrim partway through 10th edition, without it being a big major event. Which is a bit weird, honestly. A bit weird how we never got a big major campaign event around Fulgrim. A little bit weird. Well, he is a bit of a mercurial creature. But yeah, that was the preview. Is there anything you guys want me to go over again? Is there anything you missed that you want to have a quick check up on? Let me just see if there's anything in the Warhammer community article. Anything interesting in the Warhammer community articles? Can we get another 2 loyal Primarchs to balance it out? No. Did I do that? Did someone do a redeem? Did I just misclick? I did just misclick. Ah. Man. I did just misclick and did some toggles. Like a silly scuffed cat. How do I undo these toggles? Ah. Ah. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the review. Let's see. Let's see if we've got anything I care enough about to really look into. So let's see if we missed anything. What's next? Oh god, that's loud. Yeah, no, it's just the exact same clip we saw. It's a broken Cadia. It's a broken Cadia. Is that another... Each Chaos God has that Demon Primarch? Yeah. I'm sure we'll get one eventually. So there's definitely some kind of new techie warsmith, maybe. Yeah, this is definitely some kind of warpsmith. That wasn't part of the preview. That feels like the same... That feels like the stuff on, like the exhausts on a Mauler Fiend. You want more than Bobby G and the Lion? Yeah. That's definitely a Defiler. That's definitely a Defiler, chat. Look at that. That is clearly a Defiler. 100%. 100%. That's definitely an Obliterator. That's an Obliterator or Mutilator. It has it. The shoulder pattern is exactly the same as the Obliterators, and so is the way the hands are arranged. That's the same foot as the... Oh, but then it's got that sort of loinclothy thing. I can't remember if my Obliterators have that. Maybe. I reckon they're gonna have an Iron Warriors character. Definitely an Iron Warriors character. An Iron Warriors upgrade sprue. Upgraded Defiler. And Obliterators / Mutilators. That's what I'm putting my money on, chat. Maybe it's a named Iron Warrior Lord. Like what? Like Hanzo? That'd be kind of cool. Named Iron Warrior character would be pretty fucking cool. I'd be here for that. I'd be happy to see a named Iron Warrior character. I don't even care for the Iron Warriors that much. Okay, what else? What else they got here? I want this so fucking badly, chat. Why are you in squads of 6? That's so awkward. Chat, please give me money so I can afford to spend money on plastic crack. Yeah, I'm not really seeing the boob plate. I know you all were saying that there was boob plate, but I'm not really seeing it. I think it's more in the faces. And they've made them slightly slimmer. But it's not like boob plate. Not in the same way Stormcast Eternals have boob plate. God, I love these. I love these so much, chat. They're fucking glorious. They're so good. They're so good. The Venatari, I mean, I can take or leave, in all honesty. I'll get some. I'll get some because Venatari jump infantry are always useful. Ooh, that's a chunky flight stand. I like that. Is there any pictures of the other grav tank? Yeah, that also has a chunky flight stand. I like that as well. Gold Blood Angels. Blood Angels fans, how do you feel about your new Sanguinary Guard? Do you like them? Do you prefer them to your current sculpts? Ah! You might need to do some tweaks. You might need to do some tweaks to get these to look a bit more like Blood Angels and less like Custodes. But I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do the thing. What else? Oh, this is just the books. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I wouldn't mind picking this up, though. I don't really need it, though. I think I've got 2 of these. I've got 2 of these Venoms. You can have... They're dedicated transports, though, so you can run up to 6. But I'm more interested in the Reavers and the Hellions. I don't actually have any Witches or a Succubus, so... Yeah. Wait, you think the boob plate is more pronounced on the Venatari? I don't see it. I don't see anything. These bitches be flat. Also, I don't think any of these are women. I think you're just seeing shading and assuming that that's boob plate. I think you're just seeing shading. Let's have a look at the captain. Again, I don't think that's boob plate. I think that's just a segmented armor segment where they start all the decoration and stuff. I don't think, like, there's no contour. It's just like a round bit with, it has that dip. Like this is effectively trim. You don't like it? The bold one? Bold one? This is the first pair. What don't you like, Nurgle? Need that money for more guardsmen. I understand, God of Muffins. You go get your guardsmen. Which one's the bold one? There's like 3 bold ones. I don't see boob plate. I also don't see boob plate. I also don't see boob plate. That's just highlighting, my dude. That's just highlighting. It's not boob plate. It's not boob plate. There is not boob plate either. It's just shading and highlighting. Which, I mean, I understand. Contouring can change the way something looks a lot. But I don't see boob plate. I mean, I understand if you said this maybe, but like still, it's not boob plate. It's just shading. Man, they look so good though. I'm just here looking at my the Custodes I've been working on, and I'm just like, bruh, these are just such a massive step up on what these Custodes are. Like the models, there's so much extra detail. I'm so glad my color scheme is paint this shit gold and dry brush it a lot. Because then I don't have to deal with nearly any of this. But anyway, I'm going to do my best to get this. And I'm going to run these guys in 40k. We'll see when we get hands on with them. But yeah, I'm going to get this. This is going to reinforce my New Year, New Army project. Because I have about 1,000 points. This will probably get me, like, the better part of another 1,000 points. I wonder if there's different war gear options for this shield captain. So if I could give her a pyrethite spear, then I could have 2 with pyrethite spears, right? I feel like my Custodes should be brighter. No, I like this more muted color. Wah. They could always take a female Spartan approach to the aesthetic, I suppose. Man, they look so good. I know some people aren't. Why are they fighting thousands? Oh, yeah, I guess they did. They did go to Prospero with the Space Wolves, didn't they? What else is interesting? Let's see. Yeah. Here on Blackheart and his gang. Again, love this guy. Love her. She looks so good, chat. Should I make some memes, chat? I feel like we can make some memes out of stuff. I want to make. I'm gonna meme some people, some of these models, chat. Or at least I'm gonna make one meme, because I think I know what to do. I should have some background music. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this VOD now and then get uploaded to YouTube.